যদি সবাই ফিরে যায়, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি আলো না ধরে, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে, যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে, তবে বজ্রানলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে।
Hi guys, I forgot to turn the light off. Wait, what's this camera angle? Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. Nobo is also here. I'll take him on after I discuss some specific things. Bhupenda, তুমি একটু wait করো. So today's live stream will be mainly addressed towards the non-Bengalis who live outside West Bengal, because everyone in Bengal pretty much knows what's happening, except a few too far gone Brahmins, Buddhos, Kastos from Kolkata. And some people might ask, what's the point of bringing caste into this? Well, if only specifically Kolkata-based Brahmins, Buddhos, Kastos have sort of a deep slumber, then it's fun to point these things out, because it's their caste privilege which lets them do these things, because they are all the time pointing out all the vicious casteism and caste privilege that everyone else, all Hindus everywhere else in the country or even in the USA have, right? So why not bring out their shenanigans as well? Now, I stand vindicated today. I was right about Bengal. I was right about decolonizing self-defense laws. I was so right. And the people who pushed back on Bengal being lost and stuff were the number of those people were too less. And I want to clarify that this live stream is addressed towards them, towards the non-Bengalis outside West Bengal, specifically because we're not going to just discuss news. News, so you all probably already know from what Kushal Mehra discussed yesterday with Kanchan Gupta, and the Bengalis know what's happening anyway. I'll just share some personal opinions on this and the repercussions of this situation as well. Though it's 2025, and yet again, Bengali Hindus, devout Bengali Hindus, are homeless, are refugees inside the country of India. There are many Hindus inside the country of India who have been refugees for decades. Bengalis have been refugees in the past, twice or thrice, and it's happening now again. During the end days of CPIM's rule, some CPIM villages were being cleared out by allegedly Naxals and Trinamuls, or Naxal Trinamul, let's say, a collaboration. And many Trinamul supporters would have to be also leaving their villages and stuff for safety. Now, and they were back eventually, because you just become a supporter of that party and there's no problem. How do you now become a supporter of a religion? Because right now they are being kicked out because they are not Muslim. And I avoid coming live when I'm too pissed off, except when it's for third rail topics and stuff like American politics, Vivek getting hand fisted and stuff. On those stuff, I can be pissed off and say whatever the fuck I want. On Bengal specifically, one must never come online when they're pissed off, because if you end up saying something even remotely off color, you will get you'll face the music, you'll get repercussions. And it was common sense for me. I knew that Kolkata police and all West Bengal police will obviously be on the lookout for people spreading rumors online. And by spreading rumors, meaning discussing this stuff, obviously. And whatever stuff you hear from random places, you can't even quote them. You can't, in these situations, you are not going to be able to even quote ABP Ananda and stuff. You will be just called that, oh, you are fueling the fire of riot, and therefore, chalo bhai. So I was not mentioning any specific words, or even on Twitter and stuff. And quoting people doesn't get you out of these jams. Remember when we were discussing Deepda's book, Deep Haldar got an FIR in his name in 2021 during Bengal elections because he quoted a BJP leader who said that there are rapes happening in Hindu villages. And he said that, quote, colon, ex-BJP leader. For quoting that guy, not even using it as a citation in a sentence of his own. That was actually the point of the entire sentence, that this is a quote from this BJP guy. That the news is that this BJP guy is saying that there's a rape in that village. For that, he had to face repercussions. Okay. So yesterday I prepared, documented a bunch of things. There was an insane turn of events yesterday, basically. We will get to all of that because the notes are still here with me. Although the order is absolutely fucked up because the news cycle has been absolutely crazy these last 36 hours. There has been an endless barrage of things to discuss. But my point is, I was right on decolonizing self-defense laws, fuckers. I was always right. I have been right from day one. There was a guy called Obhijit Sarkar. I might be getting either his surname or his first name wrong, okay? He was a BJP supporter, or I think even low-level party worker in Bengal in 2021. And he was very famous among animal rights, dog rescue circles for being a dog lover. So he had many adopted stray dogs in his home. So one day, right around the time of elections, I don't remember if it was just on the day of elections or right before the day of elections, some people allegedly from some nice political party came to his house and beat to death his the newborn puppies of his stray dog. And I don't remember the details exactly, but he was probably not at home at that point. He comes back and sees that as a punishment for him for doing BJP, all his adopted stray dogs, newborn puppies, have been beaten to death. They were thrown on the walls and stuff. Then he comes back, goes live on Facebook, makes a video, absolutely crying, bawling like a baby. And he says that, see, this is what these people have done. My dog is also crying. All her puppies have been killed because I'm in BJP. When the Facebook live goes on, he says that I fear for my life. At any point, anything can happen to me. Within an hour or so of his live stream ending, again, people come to his house. This time, even that mother dog is beaten to death. And he's also beaten to death, to the point where his own parents were not able to recognize his face. From that day onwards, I decided that, and you all know, animals are a bit of a personal default red line for me. I just can't help it. You say something bad about animals or Veer Savarkar, I lose my fucking mind. My brain stops functioning. So I've always been thinking about it since I heard that news that day. Because when it happened, I was still not a right winger in the Indian sense. So I later on found out about all these things. So imagine what would be the consequences if that guy had a gun in his home. He can't have a gun because the people who killed him might have a gun. Okay, this is the absolute dumb fuckery of the level of discourse in the Indian right wing. If commies say these things, I don't fucking care. For commies to have forever said that power flows from the barrel of a gun. They are more pro-gun rights, so therefore they end up killing more innocent people. So it's the Indian right-wingers, these Gandhian socialist fucking cock assholes masquerading as Hindutvadis, who are opposed to Hindu protection, who are opposed to Hindu self-defense, who are opposed to decolonizing self-defense laws, are one of the significant enemies, because they are in our fold, because they agree with us on other stuff. They agree with us on the problems. They don't fucking want us to have the solution. Now, in Murshidabad, two CPIM party workers, one Horogobindo Das in his 80s and his son in his 40s, gets dragged out of their homes and hacked to death. Today I was listening to his to Horogobindo Das's wife, full thick sindoor and stuff, devout Hindu, saying that all of a sudden they came in, they hacked his face, hacked his neck, hacked his legs. Then my son, they hacked his legs, hacked his body. Then they bombed the house as well. And they were idol makers, okay, murti banane wale log. And so what if they had guns? The other side will get guns, no? If you get guns, then they will get guns, okay? Imagine this argument from our Gandhian socialist Hindutwadi cucks. So let Avijit Sarkars and their stray dogs and their puppies and Horogobindo Dashes die, because they will in future end up having guns, bro. So then people leave the village of Murshidabad, and some of them send their wives and daughters and mothers on motorcycles even to Jharkhand for safety. Up until this day, Bengalis were leaving West Bengal in hordes because capitalism sucks, but we gotta work in a capitalist state. Now they are leaving West Bengal and going to Jharkhand for safety. Safety in Jharkhand than West Bengal, okay? And I'm sure all of you all have liberal leftist Bengali friends. Do not let them get away with this, with saying this ever again, that Bengal is safe and stuff, Kolkata is safe. People, when this happened in the last 2-3 days, sent the women in their families to fucking Jharkhand for safety. Jharkhand. And others went to Malda in a sort of a refugee camp and will live there for the foreseeable future. Although I heard from some right-wing sources that they are being forced to return back so that the government can say that no, see, normalcy has returned and stuff. And so the insane are people suggesting to keep forged weapons. Forged weapons is not a completely bad idea, but even that is illegal. Okay, any weapon, even a sword, is illegal, which you see on the processions anyway. And if anyone says revive our martial arts, I'm going to lose my shit again. Leo X, yes, it won't, because of Gandhian socialist fucks like the people in Hindutwadi circles. Yes, and none of them are owned by people who need them. None of them are owned by people who are potential victims. None of them are owned by law-abiding citizens. All of them are owned by criminals. What does a criminal do when he is face to face with a law-abiding citizen, potential victim, who also has a gun? He still shoots him. So anyway, so an insane turn of events happened yesterday. So first, in the morning, West Bengal police does sort of a very giddy, fluffy press conference and says that, okay, now things are under control finally. Murshidabad is handled. We will catch the killers even of those two CPM workers. And another Muslim kid, he was about 17 years old, also got shot. From some sources I heard it was BSF who shot him down. There hasn't been clarity. And some sources said that nobody knows who shot him down. Excuse me. So West Bengal police, when they are doing this press conference, say that things have been brought under control. We will catch those perpetrators. All we need is a little bit of time. Everything is now fine. And the mood of the situation, that press conference, was so fluffy and cute and mushy that, in fact, the police officer went ahead and said that, you see, Bengal has a reputation of bhaichara and stuff. So this credit of now normalcy returning doesn't even lie with the police alone. It lies with you, the media. and all of our social every class of people, etc. We all together have brought back peace. And there was an interesting wordplay. At one point, the officer who was saying these things was about to say religion, but didn't. Hilariously, he said that we will catch the perpetrators who have done all these ruckus for the last few days. We will catch them. If required, we will go to Patal Lok and get them, regardless of their. He pauses. He was about to say regardless of their religion. He meant to say that we will catch them even if they are Muslims, don't worry. And he stammers the fuck out of his life at that point and says, regardless of their status, social standing. And then goes ahead and makes the point. Parallelly at that point, ISF, the alliance partner of CPIM, in 2021 elections, run by two brothers, Abbas Siddiqui and Naushad Siddiqui. Naushad Siddiqui was holding a rally in a place called Dharma Tala, out of all places, in Kolkata, in front of B.R. Ambedkar, because B.R. Ambedkar really had really fond things to say about Muslims and Islam in general. There has been no greater friend to Muslims than B.R. Ambedkar, as you all know, from his book Pakistan or Partition of India. Every Muslim must read Pakistan or Partition of India. It's the most beautiful description, most complimentary description of Muslims ever written. You Muslims will love B.R. Ambedkar after reading it. So they reach there. And hilariously, Naushad Siddiqui says, no one will bring any flag other than the Indian flag, because these guys are intelligent. They knew that the main hatred that even middle class Bengalis, even liberal Bengalis, even a bunch of Brahmin Boiddo Kaisto youngsters in their 30s, 40s, even 20s to 20s to are fully polarized at this moment. So the main reason they are getting pissed off is because of the general Afghani vibe, the Taliban vibes that we are giving off. Okay, Palestine flag, and non-Indian flags, and everyone's dressed a certain way. So he said, no one will bring even ISF's own flag. Can you fucking believe this? The discourse, the Overton window has shifted to this extent that ISF is saying, don't bring ISF flags, bro. Palestine flag ka to maa ka bhosra. Only and only Indian flags allowed. And then the rally begins. Some speeches are given. Naushad says that we have 2-3 specific demands. Don't change the country. Don't change the constitution. Jobs are being lost and stuff, and therefore don't amend the Waqf whatever law there was. And she in fact criticizes Mamata Banerjee because these guys are vocal critics of Mamata Banerjee. He says, since Mamata Banerjee is saying that she won't let Waqf Waqf amendment be implemented in the state, although nobody in their right minds has any clue how in the fuck can that work, because we may have flaws in our federal system. It's neither fully federal, it's not very centralized, it's quasi federal, because so that we can do jab jahan chale jo chale. तो भाई क्वाजाई तो है एटलीस्ट फेडरल, तो अब क्वाजाई तो है, तो वहां पे कैसे तुम लॉ इंप्लीमेंट नहीं करोगे? No one knows. So Naushad in fact brings up a very interesting point. Says, why is Mamata Banerjee not filing counter lawsuits and stuff? She isn't. She hasn't been filing. Therefore, she's just lying to you. And this will be implemented, which we must protest. By the time this is going on, in a place called Bantala, many anti-commies of the rest of the country, even non-Bengalis might have heard of this word, because there was a infamous rape case of UNICEF workers during CPIM's rule, Anita Dewan. And that's a horrific, gory story in itself. You all can check out my podcast with Debpratim Ghotok, who has written a book documenting 10 significant human rights violations under CPIM's rule. Nandish here has read that book as well. Prashanjit De, thank you for contributing 29 rupees to Bengal's GDP. So near Bantala is the place called Bhangor, which is kind of infamous for all sorts of stuff that I can't mention. You all can understand. very, very Ambedkari's things, the stuff that Ambedkar liked, in his book Pakistan or Partition of India. So, significantly, ABP Anando, who were doing a stellar fucking job highlighting the issues. Shumande, the editor himself, was absolutely doing fireworks in his debates against Trinamool people. Disappointed me with one particular thing to such a significant extent that I got insanely pissed off, which is why I didn't come live yesterday, because I would have said absolutely insane things. And I decided, fuck this shit. Fuck all of these people. I'm not going to come and analyze these people's words and then psychoanalyze these people. Today I will try to. But yesterday I was just not in the mindset anymore. But anyway, up until that significant point of disappointment, I will tell you what happened, and I'll talk about the disappointment as well. So, in that place called Bhangor, from that place called Bhangor, many ISF party workers were coming to Dharmatala. And police stops them. Kolkata police stops them. Okay. Not only does Kolkata police stop them, they beat the shit out of those ISF party workers. You won't believe unless you see those footages. I don't think I'll be able to find those footages today, because ABP Anand has been uploading like barrage of clips, because so many things have been happening since yesterday. You would have thought it was absolutely Yogi Adityanath's police, and no one bat an eyelid. No one in Bengal talked about this being an attack on minorities, because the number of people who give a shit about attacks on minorities are going down every day. So everyone who expects at this point the police to be tough on riots and stuff, people are sharing ancient quotes from Jyoti Basu, who had said that unless the state, meaning state with capital S, unless the government wants a riot, no one can ever do a riot. He had even told some police officer at one point during a riot that shoot at sight. Anyone does any riots, shoot them, kill them. So people were reminiscing those days, and in the morning only, Kolkata police beats the crap out of countless ISF workers. Everything seems to be under control. Everyone's happy. There's another police officer going viral near Howrah who says that y'all have been doing many shenanigans. Today, even if my job goes, I will beat the shit out of anyone who burns buses or destroys public property. You want to do protests? Do protests. Go home. Later on, even he got basically outnumbered and mobbed and stuff. He wasn't hurt and stuff. So anyway, he was from West Bengal police. Now, after that lathi charge happens, then again all hell breaks loose, because they who will get guns, if you get guns, people who are really liked by Ambedkar, they are not going to let the police go scot-free if they beat the shit out of them, right? And of course, this needs to be pointed out. How did all of a sudden, out of the blue, after all these years, Kolkata police find the balls to beat the shit out of so many devout activist Muslims? How in the world? Well, only because they are in ISF, because they are absolutely politically rival to Mamata Banerjee. If they were from Jamaat and stuff, the kind of the collaborators who have given the something called library minister to the West Bengal government, where everyone's uneducated as fuck, because which is proven by the fact that they have to survive on freebies after freebies. We have a library minister who is a guy from Jamaat. Library, Jamaat. Okay, two words you never thought would be there in the same sentence, but West Bengal itself is a conspiracy theory. So the Jamaat guy is the library minister. So, by the way, the Jamaat guy has been kind of putting Mamata Banerjee in an uncomfortable position for the last few days. First, he said that Mamata Banerjee has called him up and really shown support for everything he is doing. Then a video of his went viral where he was giving a speech describing to the crowd how to do specific traffic jams in specific places, so that the entire state comes to a stop. Okay, a standstill. The library minister, elected representative, sworn on the constitution, Kunal Kamrakam. So that guy was saying how to do traffic jams in order to protest Waqf amendment. Okay. So anyway, then his name is Siddiqullah Chaudhary, by the way. Then Siddiqullah Chaudhary says, uh, Orion Times. Oh, acha, Orion Times is a Bangla Pakho supporter channel. Yes, Orion Times. I am influenced by Sai Deepak and Ranganathan. Therefore, uh, anyway, so I have to avoid saying so many things. Holy shit. Yeah, so Siddiqullah Chaudhary goes viral for that. Before that, he also says, I will give tight. Okay, it's a colloquial Bengali way to say that I will make sure something happens, or I will make sure they are in check. Okay, they meaning some of our people basically. He says that I will give them tight and they will be in check. The villages are in control. Even the city will be given tight. Okay. There's another Trinamool MLA called Humayun Kabir. He has been also behaving pretty mysteriously. He has been going on criticizing Mamata Banerjee vehemently for not being able to control the riots. Okay, and the most mysterious of all at this point, in my opinion, is the mayor himself, Firad Hakim. He is doing poetry when you would expect him to be absolutely pissed off with either BJP or CPM. Whenever he's being asked random things, that what's your opinion on this specific riot going on, because at any point there's some pogrom against Hindus going on. These are called riots in mainstream, of course. All he is saying is rise above politics, brothers. This is not the time for politics. Some people want to do riots, but rise above it. He's going on regurgitating these fluffy bullshit, mushy statements. He's not saying this was done by BJP, this was done by CPM, that guy from CPM is responsible, we will hold them accountable. He's not saying those things, which might give you a hint, which might make a conspiratorial mind jump to conclusions like they might be the ones behind these things. They might have some future preparations for their political career. Okay, kind of jinnai stuff, which is another the other reason why I stand vindicated. I was absolutely right about Bengal. Even after all this, I believe Bengal will shine through for the next 50-60 years, but in the long run, it is done. It is over. It can't be salvaged. But anyway, so absolute then ruckus breaks out in that Bhangor area. Okay, 5 motorcycles of police are burned down. Kolkata police's own prison van is kicked down and is burning up, and one Kolkata police officer ends up admitting on camera to ABP Anando that we were outnumbered. And then, sadly enough, if y'all saw the footage yesterday, you'd feel some sympathy for Kolkata police. They were in fact outnumbered. Even on the previous day, they were hiding in shops and stuff. On this day, they were attacked. They were at a medicine store doing some first aid. They were attacked. They are the ones on the harm's way now. Okay, even they need protection. Okay, because they have guns, they're not allowed to use them. So on one hand, Gandhian socialists are telling Hindutwadis that you can't have guns because they will have guns, or there will be mass shootings in schools because it happens in USA. On the other hand, Kolkata police who has guns are told don't use the guns. So in the end, the only people who will end up using the guns or something equivalent are the people who have them illegally and who don't give a shit about the law. Now, more stuff that happened. Let me just go through my points. Yeah, so in Murshidabad, people's Hindu homes have been looted and stuff. Lifetime savings from their homes have been looted. Bunch of cash lying around in shops have been looted, are gone now. They are basically proletariats at this point. Their women are in Jharkhand or Malda. They took a boat. About 700 people left on a boat to go to that refugee camp in West Bengal. And Firad Hakim, the mayor, said that, well, the refugee-ness, the displacement is happening internally. It's in the state only, so it's not that big of a problem. And many of them were pregnant women who were thrown on a boat and had to escape. Many of them had recently given birth. One woman, for example, her stitches haven't even healed as of yet. They are traveling on boats to live safely somewhere else. And my question is that just 2 days back, a very frequent viewer of ours, so I don't want to single him out. I'm not that pissed off with him because this is sort of a motif of an argument. So I'm not addressing him directly here, but he said that, yeah, guns should not be allowed in general for everyone. They should be allowed only in quote unquote sensitive areas. Now, who the fuck decides which is a sensitive area? How do you designate something a sensitive area? Was this place a sensitive area until it happened? Okay. Up until 15th August 1946, was Kolkata a sensitive area? Or unless you say wherever there are more than 40-50% Muslims, declare that a sensitive area. That's never fucking going to happen in India, unless you throw out the constitution completely. So, what's the point? You'll wait there until some of your family members get killed, then it gets declared to be a sensitive area. Then you'll go out and buy fucking guns and train how to wield weapons. The families who have right now run away, even if they return, so what? They have on camera on ABP Anand repeatedly confirmed that it was people they knew. Some were unknown faces, some were people who they knew, who came to their houses and looted and killed their people, broke down their shops and stuff. So who's going to take care of their safety? And allegedly, police didn't show up for 4 hours when that pogrom was happening in Murshidabad. Okay, then about 150 arrested. The West Bengal police says that no one will be spared, etc. Murderers of 2 CPIM workers will be caught. Thanks for the cooperation to the entire society, etc. Okay, by the way, there's a Muslim MLA of Trinamool Congress who, up until at least yesterday, had not been able to return home, whose house is nearby a police station. He hasn't been able to return home because people are pissed off with him for not protesting the Waqf amendment hard enough. He's a Muslim MLA from Farakka who hasn't been able to return home. And even with that situation on, West Bengal police were saying things are under control. Okay. Then all the ISF stuff that I talked about, everything was under control. Then it goes to hell. Police prison vans on fire. Yeah, so countless names of places. Sonpur in Bhangor, Azimganj, Shamsherganj. You all know from the names of these places. Refugees have gone to Jharkhand and camps in Malda. Jafrabad, that's where CPIM workers were killed. That's in Shamsherganj. Okay, then yesterday, again, after everything was under control, again, West Bengal police's car was stopped on camera, okay? They were not being allowed to go. Now, CPIM's Mohammad Salim and Meenakshi Mukherjee, they went to visit their own deceased party workers' family. Right after they left, the violence again began. Locals were going on saying that they want BSF and central forces. Allegedly, when the BSF entered, they were giving Jai Shri Ram slogans and stuff. But they were repeatedly asking for central forces. Now to what was ABP doing? ABP was doing a fantastic job of highlighting what was happening. And you all might think that's obvious. If there's a riot going on, they will obviously highlight. No, well, in Bengali channels are known to not highlight some things if the situation calls for it, okay? But even then, ABP Anando were absolutely doing a stellar job of going on showing that it was Hindus who were displaced. Okay, fair enough. Now, when the evening panel debate starts, even at that point, the anchor and the chief editor, Shumande, does a fantastic job. He goes on comparing that pogrom and the Hindu displacement repeatedly with 1947 displacement and 1971 displacement. That is fucking unheard of in Bengal journalism, in mainstream Bengal liberal circles and stuff, Bhadralok circles, okay? Because everyone says about 1971 as well as 1947, all the riots, that দুপক্ষেই দোষ ছিল. There was blame on both sides. There have been about 10,000, 20,000 books of fiction and even non-fiction written by legendary Bengali authors. No, not one single fucker has blamed it on the people who started the problem, okay? So out of the blue, on prime time, the main anchor and the editor of the channel is saying that this reminds him of 1947 and 71. So that was very, very phenomenal in my eyes. But then a pro-Trinamool guy was saying that yes, we are all united and stuff, and whenever such riots happen, it's the poor who are affected, etc. There's no religion angle to this. Shumon they interrupts him and says, yes, okay, but who are the ones who have been displaced? Hinting, not saying it explicitly, but hinting that it was only the Hindus who had to leave, no one else. And up until that point, even, everything was pretty fascinating, fascinating work. He highlights that 700 people had left Dhulian on boats with no belongings, some of whom were recently turned mothers, some of whom were pregnant ladies. Everything of there has been looted. It was a guerrilla style attack. And then there's a legendary sort of right-wing intellectual, very famous in Bengali Hindutva circles, called Mohit Rai, a very, very senior elderly gentleman, okay? I've heard he used to be a far left guy in his younger days. Who wasn't? So I was very, very astonished to see that Mohit Rai was brought to the debate, okay? Because he's so properly far right that these guys are never brought to debates in mainstream Bengali channels, okay? Because I'll tell you what's the level of discourse in Bengal. About 2 years back, on Saraswati Puja, on the day when it was the birthday of Prophet Muhammad as well, there was a riot in Khidirpur where mostly Dalit houses were ransacked by some people that Ambedkar really liked, about whom Ambedkar really said nice things in Pakistan or partition of India. So they attacked the Dalits of that neighborhood in a place in Kolkata, and for 4 days internet was cut out and New York Times did not cover it. Our happiness index and press freedom index were all on point even at that point. Now on Republic fucking Bangla, deliberately and overtly a right-wing Bengali news channel does a panel debate on that issue, on that day's that specific topic. They did not bring in any politicians because they said that we don't want to fuel any fires. Guess what one of the intellectuals say? That if you go to the houses of the people who were doing those let's say pogroms, you will see that they don't have swimming pools in their terraces and helicopters don't land on their terraces, okay? So it's basically poverty doing its bidding, okay? That riot, that pogrom was started by people who were really liked by Ambedkar, were started because they were poor. All of a sudden, on the day of Saraswati Puja, they remembered, पैसा कहाँ है, कितना गरीब है हम, चलो कुछ हिंदुओं का घर तोड़ते हैं. And the Republic Bangla anchor did not push back at all. Casually smiled and moved on as if he agreed with it. Okay. He said, yeah. Let now next point. Okay. And I remember that. Remember the face of that intellectual. I'll never forget it. Someday, if I meet him somewhere, I will bring this up. I don't know his name. Has a bit of a rabbit tooth. Elderly guy. Now, in that situation, when the context is like this in Bengali journalism, where the fucking right-wing Bengali news media doesn't even push back on a claim by an intellectual that it was poverty doing a pogrom on Hindus who are also dirt fucking poor because they were Dalits in a basti. The Dalits in the basti also don't have swimming pools and fucking helicopters on their terrace, but they're the victims. Anyway, In such a situation, a guy like Mohit Rai gets invited on ABP Anando. I'm very thrilled. I'm very surprised even. I call up Mr. Sociologist and I tell him what the fuck is happening. And then, as you would expect, Mohit Rai starts the discussion with a history of Islam. Okay, and I know pretty much entire West Bengal is losing their collective minds. That, oh, what is that so? And then Shumande does and says something which makes me lose my mind, and I don't do the live stream after all this preparation. He says, "I vehemently oppose your description of Islam. It's as mahan adharm." Okay, he used these two exact words, mahan dharmo. Islam is as mahan adharm as Hinduism, and some people are doing politics with this religion, and I absolutely reject your claims about it. Now, Mohit Rai is a little too old, or maybe he's just not that kind of a vicious debater these days. I think he should have left the studio as a mark of protest at that point, or should have pushed back on this, should not have let the conversation move on. He was not able to tackle the situation at all. Shumande, in fact, went ahead and said that you were bringing up Sandesh Khali, no? Because Sheikh Shahjahan is a Muslim. Well, his collaborators were Hindu, two Hindus from Trinamool. And therefore, you see, two Hindus from Trinamool prove that Islam is as mahan adharm as Hinduism. Let's see what else I had noted down. Yeah. Oh, and yesterday, the chief minister inaugurated a skywalk so that devout Hindus, can go easily to Kalighat. Okay, because she's a devout Hindu herself. She does a lot for Hinduism. Her right hand man in the Toliganj area, Arup Bishwash, has donated so much to the Tripura Sundari Mandir in Guria. She herself has built a copy paste of the Puri Jagannath temple. So now she has done more for Hinduism. You see, Hinduism has benefited so much. Let's see what else I had. Then Shubhendu Adhikari and Shukanta Majumdar of BJP have both come up with interesting comments for these situations. Shubhendu has said first of all, to Hindus that wherever Hindus are getting attacked, he's using those terms. He's the only one in Bengal today using these terms. He's saying, only one of significance, that wherever Hindus are attacked, I'm going to go there and make sure it doesn't happen further, etc. And he has also said something insane that he gave some X number, like 120 crores or something of worth of public property that has been damaged, and he will make sure that that's all taken back or acquired back from the people who did that damage. And Shukanta Majumdar also interestingly says that prepare to create a resistance, but with what the fuck? Because America mein school shooting ho jayega. Then Dada এটা কি শুধু info stream? No, we will have discussions on this as well, and I'm already bring up my angles to this, whatever stuff is happening. Now, I want to bring your attention to another sort of a self-laid trap that the Indian right wing falls into. Two organizations from day before yesterday have been repeatedly quoted by Trinamool and as well as commies. Okay, one is called, let me just show you the name of this organization. Oh yeah, one is called, you all might know about this, India Hate Lab. Okay, they have come up with a stat that shows that mainly whatever religious people versus religious people violence that has happened in recent times in India has overwhelmingly happened in the hands of Hindus on Muslims. Okay, now the organization is called India Hate Lab. The other group is called CSSS, Center for Study of Society and Secularism. Okay, now this is the other group. Okay, and they have also done study, which is also being repeatedly pointed out by Trinamool and commies. This is the group, okay? They have also said that uh, all the ruckus that's been created in India in the last few years, all the riots that are increasing, it's because of Hindus. Now, interestingly, now it's being remember. I'm setting a context, okay? I have not arrived at my main point about these two groups. Remember, Trinamool and commies, people who are not even really into that politics, they are just normies who are actually pissed off with all the work of amendment protests. Okay, even those people are sharing the stats provided by India Hate Lab and this CSSSSSSS. Okay, because they believe that yes, this stuff right now happening because of Waqf and all is bad, but overall it is the Hindus who are to be blamed. Okay. Now, interestingly, this Center for Study, Secularism, Society, etc., has a tab called Institute of Islamic Studies. Okay, if they are if they are a random group discussing secularism, why don't they have a center for Hindu studies or Jain studies or Buddhist studies? Okay, so you know what kind of a group this is. Now, why are those normies celebrating a study or the stats given out by these organizations? They are not going to the websites of these organizations, right? They are fence-sitters. They are normies who have always hated Hindutva, now are at least pissed off about these Waqf protests and Muslims for the first time in their lives. Okay. Now, that's where the game of lexicon, naming, terminology comes in. They will never come to the websites of these groups. They will not look at the fundings and stuff. You want to see who runs India Hate Lab? Rakib Hamid Nayak, fellow at Bard College, alumnus of Bolton University. Okay, that's the kind of stuff going on here. Okay, so these people don't know where the funding is coming from, the normies. These people don't know who are the founders of these groups. These people are not going to check out the websites. What appeals to them is the fact that it's a group, it's an organization which deals with hate speech and stuff and secularism and has brought out studies and statistics, etc. Okay, these are the mantras for Bengali liberals of Kolkata. Okay, now, therefore, again, my criticism of the Indian right wing comes in. Y'all want everything remotely Indian right wing to be named something Hindu this, Sanatan that. And therefore, you will never change the mind of a commie. Maybe with other stuff, but not with your naming at least. You are handicapping yourself by naming yourself that way. Commie after commie after commie, Islamist after Islamist after Islamist is going around fooling all normies of the world by naming themselves this way. Indian Secular Front, People's Front of India, this CSSSSS, okay, India Hate Lab. Had they named it like and then secular, then everyone would think, oh, wait, it's done by them only. So obviously it's an anti-Hindu group, I guess. They're not doing that. They know how to fool them, and mainly the Brahmins, those guys of Kolkata. Okay, you don't know how to reach out to your own people. Okay, and people who believe in birth-based casteism even now, come to Bengal, bro. It's your Kolkata's Brahmins, those guys, those who are fucking your religion the hardest. There should be porn videos saying that Brahmin Boito Kaisto fucks Hinduism again today. So anyway, you don't know how to reach out to your own brethren. They can reach out to a goddamn kafir even. Okay, you dumb fucks. Okay, let's see what are the start messages. Okay, that stuff. Okay, now we will have guests. Yaar dada OBS chalao. Oh, StreamYard is hanging up, no? Repeatedly? Yeah. What is Boido? Vaidya. The Vaidya caste. Those three make up the Bhadralok caste, basically. So, hi on it. Let me put up my headphone. All the members can join our discussion today, and I'll keep an eye on the comment section now, okay? On it might have gone offline by now.
হ্যাঁ, শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
ইয়েস ইয়েস। তুমি কি হিন্দিতে বা ইংলিশে বলবে? আজকে তো ইংলিশ লাইভ স্ট্রিম।
আমি বাংলাতেই বলি, তুমি পরে ট্রান্সলেট নয় করে দিও।
But it's going to be a waste of time for all the non-Bengali viewers because they are mostly watching the live stream. You can speak in Hindi if you want or English. নয়তো আমরা বাংলায় তো লাইভ স্ট্রিম করবো পরে, সেদিন সেদিন আসতে পারো তুমি।
Okay, let me try.
Yeah.
Firstly, the soft language that these are riots. Every news channel puts these are riots. No, these are
Hmm.
not riots. Here,
Hmm.
one group is
Hmm.
persecuted by another.
Yeah.
First point, and the second is everywhere. It is said that the Muslims were not, or uh, the Muslims were not local. They have come from outside. I say this is planned. Everywhere they come with plan with the local Muslims because they come from outside. They plan a particular date, then they gather the bricks
Hmm.
to destroy. So these are all they are connected. So the local Hindus always get impression that oh my
Yeah,
neighbor.
BSF, by the way, uncovered a bunch of stones which were already stacked up in many houses. BSF went
Yes,
there, went to their houses and made them
and clean that up.
move away those bricks.
Thirdly, you are saying that the ISF meeting, ISF protest yesterday, you
Hmm.
have not seen that there was an ISIS flag, not one, but two or three ISIS flags in the protest.
I see.
And uh, I may sound too rude. I want to say that Siddiqullah Chaudhary said that later we will make Kolkata. I want to say that make Kolkata suffer. Otherwise,
Hmm.
the people of Kolkata will not understand.
Hmm.
They just think that, oh, Murshidabad is 250 kilometers away. What about that? I am not
Hmm.
suffering. And last few days ago, same thing. It's not same thing. It was like their Idol Fitr. So music is haram in their religion, but
Hmm.
near a temple, some guys were dancing with loud music till 2 a.m. So a
Hmm.
guy said, please साउंड थोड़ा कम कर दो, मेरा घर में मेरा माँ थोड़ा बीमार है। तो वो लोग
Hmm.
उनका घर वर सब जला दिया। पुलिस
Hmm.
आए, पुलिस बोलो आप आपस में थोड़ा मिटमाट कर लो, हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे।
Hmm. Hmm.
तो मैं इस सो आई वाज टू फ्रस्ट्रेटेड अबाउट दिस। आई इवेंचुअली टॉक टू पुलिस and just casual. So he said that let the government change. We'll make sure that we are more hardened than UP police. And yesterday when I saw the ISF getting beaten, oh, I got to him. And thirdly,
Hmm.
you have not covered one news in Baripur. So there was a
Acha.
protest going on near the SP office. So a father with his sick son was going through that road with his scooty. As the guy saw that uh, in the father's neck there was Tulsi Kathir Mala. So
Hmm.
in spite of there was police, they hardly beaten them up. He was hardly beaten. Blood was flowing from his eyes. I think
Hmm.
you have forgotten that. And thirdly, uh, I have you seen the link? Have you seen the video I have sent you in Instagram to talk about the Raju Singh on the video? Have you seen the message?
No.
Okay. And
What has he said?
last year, that prediction wala.
Right. He had been predicting this stuff.
Yes. And lastly, I want to say that you were saying about the music video about Kalhoira. So, in my town, Jhargram, are you interested? Because the environment you are asking about, it's
Hmm.
pretty similar. It is very old temple,
Okay.
built the town by the kings when there were kings, and
I see.
there is a pond nearby and no houses.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Then I'll discuss this with you offline.
Okay, that was
Okay.
from my part.
Th- Thank you, Anit. Thank you for coming. Now, Navavimarsh. Hello,
Namaskar.
Navavimarsh. Namaskar.
Yes, so I'm going to discuss something else related to this, but not related to the incident. So, do you think that nice people, good-hearted people will always end up like this?
Yes, because a good person, nice person who is not capable of violence will always end up like this. If they are good and capable of violence but doesn't use the violence, they won't end up in a situation like this.
Yes,
And I
but
agree with kind of sorry, digressing a little, but it's kind of in this context. I wanted to make this point. I forgot. That's why I'm bringing this up right now. But remember your question as well. That I am also one of those people who are not blaming the center on this, because again, because quasi federal, the in the same way that Mamata Banerjee has to implement the work of amendment, even therefore, conversely, the center can't come in for anything and everything. If the entire state was in fire, then of course probably. But see, in India, there's almost no accountability for anyone on anything. The only accountability that anyone faces for anything is some political party gundas showing up at your doorstep. But in this case, in this situation, the idea is that yes, you hold some accountability for yourself. You voted for Lokir Bhandar. No, you voted for the party who is allowing this to happen. You voted for the party who has let's say strengthened all these kinds of people who are today doing this program against you. Why? Not for any sudden love for Islam. Mamata Banerjee does not love Islam or Muslims. I think so, because otherwise she would have never become the alliance partner of BJP. She would not have thrown papers at the speaker demanding that illegal Bangladeshis be thrown out. She is doing this because of political power and um, some other stuff. But anyway, if she doesn't love them really, even then she needs one thing from them, which is violence on the day of politics, on the day of elections. And a few days back, again, that Humayun Kobir, MLA or MP, yeah, MLA, he said that, uh, do you know how Bengali Hindus, how they behave on the day of elections? They have some dal bhat and go to sleep. It's the young Muslim kids who manage elections. So for that, the chief minister needed them for all these years, and she gave you Lokir Bhandar and freebies. You were happy with them. I would bet my spectacles, at least, whatever I have, that even the Hindu victims of these pogroms are beneficiaries of Lokir Bhandar. तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी यहाँ पे हर जगह पे रैंडमली बाईपास करके अचानक से अमित शाह और गवर्नर कहाँ से आएगा भाई? तुम पैसे लिए हो तो अब तुम्हारा प्रोग्राम भी होगा. Now the only unfortunate part might be that inevitably sometimes collective justice happens or collective injustice happens. There's no individuality in the end in these situations. That what if those people are in fact BJP supporters? What if some of them have in fact on moral grounds rejected Lokir Bhandar? I know some dirt poor Hindus who have actually rejected Lokir Bhandars, okay, on just moral fucking grounds, okay. I know some maids and stuff. Now even they are going to face the pogroms now because all of their homies around them voted them in. So now go ahead with the rest of your question, Bhupenda.
yeah, so not a question, just a commentary, because I am thinking about this for past 15, 20 years. Okay, because I have the luxury of doing that. Okay. So my question is that one community, okay, puts all its efforts and resources into doing something specific X, okay, and they will become good at it, and there will be some good and bad consequences of that specific effort. Okay. On the other hand, one community will do something else, and they will have good and bad consequences. Okay. So at the core of it is a societal problem, okay, where society, their perspective, how they see things, okay, how they see their future, okay, and it boils down to that specific thing. So that mob we see, that is a kind of a social experiment or maybe a social outcome of what we see today. So until that perspective changes in terms of society, the way they see things, okay, this is not going to go away anytime soon. So that's my argument. Whether it is BJP, whether it's whoever is in power, who whatever does, the society itself is not changing its perspective, how they look at politics, how they look at society, how they look at their neighbor.
Do you mean
So
society in general or their society?
in India, society means like Brahman Boydha Kaista, correct? So like it's again it is a metaphor, but everybody, correct? You have Motuas, so Motuas have their own things, so they will mingle with them and they will create their own perceptions, and that
Hmm.
perception will be different from a Brahman or from
Hmm.
some other person.
Hmm.
So that is the thing that is at the core of it, in my opinion. Okay.
Hmm.
So you are not going to see that. Yeah, there are some other specific communities, especially outside Bengal, who have a different kind of perception, like Haryanvis in Jats and also in
Hmm.
Rajasthan. They might be able to do it because they do a different kind of jobs. They are
Hmm.
not in. So uh, you have to see at the social level what kind of occupation they occupy, who come and do mob justice,
Hmm.
what kind of occupation we occupy, and that's why we cannot do things which can be done by others. So it's
Yeah,
an asymmetry.
interestingly. Yeah, it's a very good point because even Bengal has a class or castes for mob justice, but they are doing the mob justice on behalf of Trinamool on its opposers. But because the narrative is set by people who are not into mob justice at all. But whereas in other states they are kind of in tandem. The divide is not that stark that you will just do mob justice, I will give my battle about Palestine. But that is why, in fact, in this way, West Bengal is the most casteist society because that's how rigid the ancient castes are in Bengal. It's nowhere else is it the same situation.
Yes, absolutely correct. So that's why, like, I have like stopped thinking about all these things, because from my analysis, this is the thing. So now I am going to do what is what I can do best to improve things here and there. Others,
Hmm.
the society have to take a call, and the biggest problem is the leadership. Okay, there
Hmm.
is no lower rung leadership, there is no middle rung leadership, and the upper leadership that you have is something which is much more to be desired. So you're not going to see anything else until the society itself does introspection and has the courage to do something about it.
Yeah, there
Let's
is no
see.
leadership. There's only political leadership, that too only from Shubhendu, that too only in the last 1 or 2 years. Probably 1.5 years. That's not leadership. I mean, the leadership we are talking about has to be ground up. It has to be the leader has to be on the minds of the people. There's no such thing. So Bengal is done. It can't
No,
come back from
it
this.
is not done. Okay. It is not done. So uh, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we will not be alive to see what happens after 50 years. But
Yeah.
yes, something might happen. So let's see what happens. But at this
Hmm.
moment, people do hue and cry. They will do a lot of things. But end of the day, the society will function as it is functioning for last 100 years, 100, 200, 300 years.
Hmm. But
So
what Anit Dash said, that is why I'm saying that for the foreseeable future, Bengal might see some improvement because some people in even the police are obviously pissed off, and they are saying that let the politics change. We will show what we can do, like they kind of showed when they were allowed to against ISF just yesterday. But not in the long run, maybe.
that is a symptom. The problem will persist.
Yeah, and the very problem you brought up, I want to discuss that a bit now, before another member joins the conversation. Okay, let me point now. We don't need to single out this one young girl for all our hatred and stuff. She's an absolutely just a microcosm for the Brahmin Boidokaisto view, but she is such an accurate microcosm of the Brahmin Boidokayastha view that we will discuss two Facebook statuses posted by her. Okay, this is very fascinating, and it's a public Facebook profile. I'm not in her friend list, therefore I can access it. So check this out. By the way, Navavimash, did you have anything to add?
No, nothing. That's it. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, 2-3 incredible posts from her. Gravity saying, no, not that Bhattacharya girl, please. Yes, that Bhattacharya girl. Okay. But remember, she is just a symptom. She is just a microcosm of these kinds of views, which are very, very popular. She is not one out of the blue who's saying these things. Okay, this is a very significant societal problem. Okay, so she's saying, hello everyone. Important disambiguation coming up. Hamas being a terrorist group, quote unquote terrorist group, is a narrative carefully constructed by the oppressive West to allow the erasure of armed resistance on the end of Palestine whenever there's a rise of resistance, especially armed resistance. So in general, she's refusing to call Hamas even a terrorist group. Can you fucking believe this? Okay, in 2025, someone is saying, I get it if someone's against Zionism and stuff at least, but the fact that Hamas is even a terrorist group, even that is debatable according to her. She's not even debating that. She's saying outright that they're not a terrorist group. A group that on 7th October did those things. They are not a terrorist group. So you see, by extension, what kind of things she finds okay, what kind of things people of her ilk think is fine if you do it against Israel or Hindus and stuff. Okay? Therefore, if you think that if you get guns, then they will take guns, no. Their side already has guns, and the intellectuals on their side are saying Hamas is not terrorist. Anything you do will be terrorism. Therefore, why not embrace it? Now, in the end, she says, from the river to the... Well, it needs to exist to be free, but anyway. Now, here's an interesting conversation here. RSS was discussed here. The cognitive dissonance is jarring when you see these hyper-nationalists intoxicated in their pride and love for their national freedom fighters, especially the ones who chose physical violence as their medium of resistance, but call Hamas a terrorist organization. On the same note, violence begets violence, and the first act of violence on the colonizers' part almost always happened right after they would set their foot in the colonized spaces. Now, explain to me, which goddamn Indian revolutionary or freedom fighter went to a British person's house and burned their babies in a microwave? Okay, microwaves hadn't been invented by them, burned them alive. Or raped a bunch of them, took them hostage, didn't return them. When the fuck did Savarkar do this or Sri Aurobindo do this? Okay, but the name of the game is false equivalency. Yeah, so she replies, case in point, the appropriation of Bhagat Singh by RSS. Dekho, Guard Jalina. I'm repeatedly saying, take away their idols or destroy their idols. They must not have a rallying point. Therefore, कोई ये फालतू की बातें मत करने आओ कि can we really use Ambedkar because he wrote that thing against Hinduism, bro? इन लौड़ों ने Ambedkar को यूज किया by completely ignoring everything Ambedkar said on Muslims, right? They ushered in a bunch of hatred, showered so much hatred on Savarkar for so many years by just bringing up his views on Muslims while completely conveniently ignoring his views and his work, ground level hard work against casteism, right? Why in the fuck should we not focus on Ambedkar's work on Muslims? Because as far as his work against casteism goes, we agree with it anyway, because Savarkar is with us. And as far as hatred for Hinduism, well, that argument has its limits, because every time Savarkar brings up the issue of Muslim violence, he brings up the issue of safety of Hindus. He does not bring up the safety of just Dalits. Anyway, so the appropriation of Bhagat Singh by RSS is very sad according to her. And even though she hasn't even seen our video, the stuff that Bhagat Singh really said, lol. Next is, this is crazier. Okay, see the dates. This is on 7th April and this is on 12th April. Okay, 12th April. Okay, remember the dates. When were the stuff happening in Bengal? On 11th April, she is sad that Phule's film got some cuts and stuff. 10th April, it's her own DP. 10th April, again the Phule film. 7th April, she is sad that there's secularism and BJP is getting called secularism. And on where's this? Yeah, on 12th April, she says, you participating in Steven Wilson's concert. Okay, Steven Wilson is the king of modern progressive rock. He's coming to 3 cities. Kolkata is one of them. And she's criticizing the people who are excited to go to Steven Wilson's concert. And I did not know that Steven Wilson, in fact, was a Zionist. How to join? Good Lord, yeah, become a member. Only members can see the joining link. Okay, I've made that only visible for members. Okay, anyway, so I did not know Steven Wilson was a Zionist. Now I'm even a bigger fan of his. I have seen Steven Wilson live once in 2016. I hope I can see him live even this time. So anyway, no, her boyfriend is not Muslim. Stop saying this idiotic thing, Kwasan. I know y'all are outside Bengal. Y'all don't know how the fuck a Bengali commie mind works. Muslim direct involvement, influence, friendship has nothing to do with these kinds of views. Every time someone brings this up, someone says, oh, she must have a Muslim girlfriend. Oh, she must have a Muslim boyfriend. No, they are dumbasses on their own. Anyway, now, no post on Murshidabad. No post on any fucking thing happening in Bengal. Palestine, which doesn't exist anymore, must be free according to her. On the other hand, Steven Wilson is a Zionist. Now let's see what she's saying. You participating in Steven Wilson's concert cannot coexist with you decrying the ongoing genocide perpetrated by Israel against Palestine. No, do not ask me to separate the art and the artist. If someone is unequivocally supporting and enabling Israel at this point and even justifying their actions, I personally do not give a fuck about their art. You go ahead and fund a deadly Zionist design without an ounce of shame in case you lack a moral compass. Well, there's a famous song called Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. Well, Palestine got erased. Anyway, I want to bring something else up. Wait, I'll find this a discussion connected to this only, and the members can join the discussion. Okay. Someone shared. No, that I should not do because that guy is in my friend list and his profile might be locked. Yeah, that would be too far. Anyway, let's check the comment section now. She's a narcissist. Borsho is saying that. Can you search her TL for Bangladesh? Let's see. No, but that would be singling out her specifically too much, which is not the point of my discussion here, because she's a symptom, a microcosm of this of the entire Brahmin Boidhokaso group of Kolkata who think absolutely like her. Nirajan is right. When am I not? But which one are you talking about, Moinagda? I'm a member, I guess. Took membership. Kuch aur karna hai kya? No, if you're a member, then check out our community tab, okay? The tab called posts. There you will see the joining link, okay? Click on that. You will be visible on my link here on StreamYard. Excuse me. Ambedkar is turning into a meme. Harshman is saying how to join the live stream. Become a member and you will see the link on the posts tab. Arindam is saying Londia has a word, the actual term in Islam. By the way, there's a great debate that happened today. Not today, 2-3 days back, between, again, that anti-Israel Jewish libertarian who is right on everything except Israel, and Douglas Murray on Joe Rogan's podcast. Douglas Murray started out with a bit of weak arguments, but then absolutely entrapped the libertarian comedian by. Okay, by the way, good Lord, before I bring you on the on the podcast, since I've never had you on before. Remember, don't use words that will get either of our heads chopped off or our channel banned. Okay, so with that, let's have someone called Good Lord. Hello.
हेलो। मैं आपको बहुत दिन से देख रहा हूँ, शायद साल भर से शायद।
अच्छा, थैंक यू
तो मेरा बस ये बोलना है कि हम लोग इसी चीज को बार बार डिस्कस करते हैं और मतलब इसको पॉलिटिकल बनाते हैं। क्या आपको नहीं लगता ये एक सोशियोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम है?
यस, सोशियोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम है, मगर ये चलता है भाई फंडिंग के वजह से। अब फंडिंग कभी कम रहेगा, कम होगा, ज्यादा रहेगा, ज्यादा होगा। तो इंडियन
मेरा
सोशियोलॉजिकल
पॉइंट
प्रॉब्लम जो है, हाँ हाँ बोलो।
मेरा पॉइंट यह है कि लेट्स से बीजेपी आ भी जाती है तो दे विल मेंटेन द स्टेटस को, बट दे विल नॉट, आई गेस दे विल नॉट थ्रू आउट दैट होल बांग्लादेशी मतलब स्टफ्स आउट देयर एज पर
नो,
मतलब जो मेरे को लगता है वो कर नहीं पाएंगे
या
बाहर।
या
तो वो स्टेटस को मेंटेन ही होके रह जाएगा। सो देन अगर बीजेपी चला जाता है देन सेम थिंग्स विल हैपन, बट आई थिंक इट्स
यस
मोर ऑफ अ सोशियोलॉजिकल इशू। तो
यस
आई गेस इट्स लाइक लॉन्ग टर्म अप्रोच शुड बी अप्लाइड, क्योंकि ये तो नहीं तो कभी ठीक तो नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पॉलिटिक्स से ठीक नहीं हो सकता। आपका क्या मानना है?
देखो, जितने दिन डंडे पड़ेंगे उतने दिन ठीक से रहेंगे। उनको उनको डंडे ठीक कर देते हैं। यूएई से तो प्रमाण हो रहा है आज के डेट पे, यूएसए यूरोप से ज्यादा सेफ है यूएई। एक बढ़िया फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री है, बढ़िया बिजनेस है, बढ़िया लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड्स है, बढ़िया यूनिवर्सिटीज है, पूरा का पूरा देश मुसलमान है। कैसे चल रहा है? सिर्फ डंडे मार मार के उनको उनको तमीज सिखाई गई है। सऊदी अरब में भी होगा, मगर डंडे जिस दिन बंद होंगे फिर से वही होगा। तो इसलिए
बट
हम इस पे डिपेंड नहीं कर सकते हैं स्टेट कितना दिन डंडा लेके हमको प्रोटेक्ट करते रहेगा। हमारा एकमात्र सोल्यूशन है कि हम सब सारे अपने आप के पुलिस ऑफिसर और अपने आप से डंडेधारी बन जाए।
हाँ, ये तो एक है, लेकिन आपने जो एग्जांपल दिया यूएई का और सऊदी का, वो तो प्राइमरीली डेमोक्रेसी है नहीं, और डेमोक्रेसी
राइट।
में वोट्स की वजह से होता है। तो अगर आज आज के हम सिचुएशन को देखते हैं तो जो दो पार्टी है टीएमसी एंड सीपीएम, दीज आर लाइक द बोथ साइड ऑफ द सेम कॉइन। लाइक वो तो एक तो
या
मतलब सेम ही है
या
दोनों।
हाँ, यस यस
तो अगर मान के चलो कि बीजेपी आ भी जाता है तो कभी ना कभी तो हटेगा। तो
यस
जब हटेगा तब ये लोग आ जाएंगे। तो
यस
पॉइंट कीप्स रिपीटिंग एंड रिपीटिंग। आई गेस
या
आपका पॉइंट सही है, जो हम गन गन को लेके आपका जो सपोर्ट है कि हम सेल्फ एश्योरेंस पे आ जाएं कि हम खुद के पास
या
गन रखें। बट
राइट।
अब मेरे को तो ये लगता है कि ये तो पॉसिबल, मेरे को लग रहा है जो भी गवर्नमेंट है ये करने नहीं देगा। तो ये
देखो,
तो मतलब एक
करने तो
रिपीटेटिव नहीं हो जा रहा है?
हाँ, वो रिपीटेशन अगर चलते रहे तो हर बार कुछ कुछ मतलब मान लो 60-70 साल या 80 साल या 100-150 साल बाद बाद ये फिर बार बार होते रहेगा। और तब थोड़े 5-10% करके हिंदू और कम होते रहेंगे, तो एक दिन हिंदुइज्म नहीं रहेगा, हिंदू नहीं रहेंगे। अगर वो करना नहीं है तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ सेल्फ डिफेंस का डिस्कोर्स ही हमको सामने लाना है, क्योंकि डिस्कोर्स पैसों से सब सब डरते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत मान लेते हैं। मनाने के लिए जो जो चीज हर लोग करते हैं वही वही चीज हम लोगों को भी करना है ऑन दिस आइडिया ऑफ सेल्फ डिफेंस लॉज। नहीं तो और कोई तो नहीं रहेगा, कभी ना कभी तो कोई आएगा।
एड वन थिंग आई लाइक टू ऐड, मैं आई एम अ बंगाली। तो मैंने जब
ओके।
मतलब मेरे कुछ दिन से मतलब साल भर पहले शायद मेरे को एक बुक हाथ लगा था, অনুশীলন সমিতির ইতিহাস। इट्स लाइक वेरी स्मॉल बुक, 90 पेजेस बुक। तो आई रीड दैट थिंग एंड उस मतलब मुझे पढ़ के तब समझ में आया जो ये बंगाली लोग को ये मतलब गैस दिया गया है, बंगालीज आर लाइक द लाइक वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कल्चर एंड ऑल, लाइक बहुत हार्डकोर है, हम सबको मार देंगे इस टाइप का। तो अब तो वो तो चला गया, बट हाउ दे हैव मेड दैट थिंग, वो बुक पढ़ के मुझे मतलब उनका ग्रुप कैसा था सब कुछ। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि अगर हमको सच में इस चीज से छुटकारा चाहिए, अगर मतलब मान के चलो कि रियली वी वांट अ परमानेंट सॉल्यूशन, मुझे लग रहा है ये अखाड़ा वाला सिस्टम को फिर से वापस लाना होगा एंड वी शुड कनेक्ट पीपल। आपको क्या लगता है इस बारे में?
Yes, I have a big problem with the terminology, the phrasing of reviving martial arts or bringing back akhadas, because हर गली में ऑलमोस्ट आजकल मोर और लेस बॉक्सिंग, एमएमए, ब्राजीलियन जिu-jitsu सिखाते हैं। तो अखाड़ा बनेगा, उसके बाद ही हम रेसलिंग सिर्फ और सिर्फ रेसलिंग ही सीखने जाएंगे। ये ऑन थ्योरी बहुत ही लाफेबल एक प्लान है, मगर अगर
नो
तुम
नो
बोलते हो कि एक सर्किट, एक
नो,
फंडिंग,
वो मैं नहीं कह रहा।
हाँ, अगर फंडिंग
हाँ,
स्ट्रक्चर की बात हो रही है, या
क्योंकि
फिर एक
जिम खाना तो है ही।
या एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर कुछ बच्चों को लेकर
मैं
एक कैंप जैसा करे कि हाँ तुम आज से तुम सीखना चालू कर दो, तुम्हारा पैसा भी मैं दूंगा, हर जगह से तुमको लेके लेके जाऊंगा, वो सब करना चाहिए एब्सोल्युटली। मगर वहां पे प्रॉब्लम है, गुड लॉर्ड, तुमको ये पता होगा, अगर तुम काइंड ऑफ बंगाल राइट विंग सर्कल्स में अगर किसी का साथ पहचान है कि अगर ये सब आरएसएस वीएचपी ने करना शुरू भी किया, तो वो असली अखाड़े में चले जाएंगे। वो जाके थोड़ा मड रेसलिंग करेंगे, थोड़ा डन बैठक करेंगे और सोच लेंगे कि हाँ हो गए, आज हम प्रिपेयर्ड है और कोई हमको छू नहीं सकता, क्योंकि हमने एंशिएंट मार्शल आर्ट रिवाइव कर लिया है। 5 सेकंड एक एमएमए सीख के आया है ऐसा मुसलमान के साथ आंख में आंख डालेगा, सब पता चल जाएगा कि क्या क्या रिवाइव हुआ है उसके अंदर, ठीक है। तो अगर कोई होता है, कोई करता है वो
ये
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लेवल पे और डालता है एमएमए क्लासेस में, आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम। नहीं तो अपने दोस्तों के साथ टेलीग्राम ग्रुप, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाओ, सब एक साथ जाओ ब्राजीलियन जिu-जित्सु और एमएमए सीखने। एक एक लड़का एटलीस्ट हैज टू बी केपेबल एनफ टू हैंडल एटलीस्ट 4 पीपल। एवरीवन सेज दैट ओ एमएमए सीख के क्या होगा, गोली मार देगा, और जिu-जित्सु सीख के क्या होगा, गोली मार देगा। अरे लड़े तो इतना गोली से डरे तो बंदूक रखो ना। वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूं, अगर गोली बंदूक का बात नहीं भी हुआ तो एटलीस्ट फिजिकली, इवन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल से ओ एमएमए सीख के क्या होगा, मॉब के सामने क्या करोगे। अरे भोसरी के एक आदमी अगर मॉब के सामने भी 4 लोगों को उड़ा दे, तो भी मॉब भी थोड़ा बहुत डरेगा। और अगर हर कोई केपेबल हो एनफ टू बीट अप 4 पीपल, सेव हिमसेल्फ फ्रॉम 4 पीपल, then you can handle the mob. Or if you learn MMA, then yes, you can handle 4 to 5 people who are untrained.
हाँ, मैं यही बोल रहा था। एंड ऑल्सो लाइक द appearance of a Bengali people, like a person, it's very like, आप खुद ही देखोगे ना, पेट निकला हुआ है, सारा दिन भर कुछ भी बोलो, हाँ हम मांस खाते हैं, वी आर नॉन वेज ईटर्स, बट द मतलब द बॉडी हैज बीन शिट। सो वो भी चेंज करना है। मैं कुछ दिन से एक्सरसाइज करने लगा था, तो एक
नॉन
मेरे
वेज
दोस्त खुद
खा
मुझे
के
चिढ़ाते हैं कि
वेजिटेरियन
एक्सरसाइज
से,
क्यों करने लगा है।
नॉन
हाँ,
वेज खा के
ये
वेजिटेरियन
सबसे
से
बड़ा
खराब
प्रॉब्लम है।
फिटनेस है।
ऊपर से मतलब कोई भाव नहीं देता। आप अगर चले जाओ ना, आई आई लिव इन दिल्ली, तो यहाँ पे ना मतलब बंगाली लोगों को हर कोई डरा देता है, इस टाइप का है। और ऊपर से मतलब पता नहीं, आई थिंक बंगाली शुड फोकस मोर ऑन देयर फिजिकल प्रोवेस, आई गेस। उनको फिजिकल
यस
फिटनेस पे बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए, क्योंकि
यस।
बहुत ही ज्यादा, बहुत फक्ड अप है पूरा सिचुएशन।
और ये ना, जो लोग वर्कआउट नहीं करते उनको लगता है कि हाँ वर्कआउट करके क्या होगा, गोली से उड़ा देंगे या फिर मॉब आ जाएगा। ये फालतू का एक्सक्यूज है। जब तुमको खुद पता होता है कि यस, इन योर हार्ट ऑनेस्टली यू नो दैट यू कैन एक्चुअली हैंडल 4 पीपल, उससे ही एक करेज आ जाता है, विच लीड्स ऑन टू अदर करेजियस स्टफ इन योर लाइफ। तो नहीं करोगे तो पता नहीं होगा।
एंड वन थिंग, द लास्ट थिंग आई वांट टू पॉइंट आउट, जो आपने बहुत अच्छी बात बोली कि वो अखाड़ा वाली बात की, आरएसएस वाले फिर से वो पुराने अखाड़े में चले जाएंगे। ये लोग कुछ साल पहले ना एक बार वो गाय वाली यूनिवर्सिटी खोलने की बात कर रहे थे। वो घूम फिर के ये लोग
अच्छा।
उसी में आ जाते हैं। गाय गाय माता को पूजना है, गाय की यूनिवर्सिटी खोलना है, ये घूम फिर के इसी पे आ जाते हैं। तो आई गेस
हाँ,
इसको इनको भी थोड़ा
और
चेंज होना है, घूम फिर के।
उससे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं है किसी को। हाँ, अगर किसी को गाय माता को पूजना है तो ठीक है, हमको क्या प्रॉब्लम है, बट वो नथिंग, हिंदुत्व हैज नथिंग टू डू विद दैट। हिंदुत्व इज अबाउट
वो
प्रोटेक्टिंग अ
हिस्ट्री है एक
सिचुएशन
तरीके से।
और पीपल हु वांट टू डू पूजा ऑफ गौ माता। यही तो भोसड़ी के किसी के
ये
दिमाग में ही नहीं घुसा है। इसीलिए तो सावरकर इतना अंडररेटेड है, इसीलिए एवरीवन वाज हैप्पी टू थ्रो सावरकर अंडर द बस। ऑर्थोडॉक्स हिंदू भोसड़ी के सावरकर के अगेंस्ट एफआईआर डाल रहे थे, जानकी बकले के बुक में पढ़ो, ठीक है। किसी को हिंदुत्व कॉन्सेप्ट आज तक समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। और संजय दीक्षित अपने वो जयपुर डायलॉग्स के फेस्टिवल वगैरह क्या होता है वहां पे एक ऐसे ही मतलब एक डिक्लेरेशन दे दिया, हिंदुत्व इज इक्वल टू हिंदुइज्म। तो लड़ा, उससे क्या हो गया? हिंदुत्व इज इक्वल टू हिंदुइज्म, तो टीएमसी के हर हिंदू नेता, डिवाउट हिंदू सब अब हिंदुत्ववादी बन गए। अरे हिंदुत्व इज अ वेरी वेरी स्पेसिफिक डिफरेंट थिंग, सिग्निफिकेंटली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द रिलीजन ऑफ हिंदुइज्म, which is about protecting Hinduism, protecting who wants to be Hindu, who wants to live as Hindu, who doesn't want to be converted, who doesn't want to get killed, even if he wants to worship cows, even if he doesn't want to worship cows. It's about being born in a Hindu family. Yes, ये कॉन्सेप्ट ज्यादा लोगों के दिमाग में घुसा ही नहीं है। इसीलिए बार बार अखाड़ा रिवाइव, कलरीपयत्तु और मंदिर बनाने पे लग जाते हैं। हिंदुत्व का मतलब है हिंदुइज्म और हिंदू लोगों का प्रोटेक्शन के साथ ये सब का क्या क्या ताल्लुक है?
थैंक यू जो भी। और मैं मानता हूँ कि बंगाली लोग रिवाइव मतलब रिवोल्ट दे सकते हैं और फाइट देंगे। हेड ऑन अगर फाइट होगा तो बंगाली लोग फाइट देंगे। आई होप कि वो दिन
हाँ
आए कि हम फाइट दे पाए।
हाँ
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
हाँ, थैंक यू। इन द नियर फ्यूचर तो देंगे ही, क्योंकि पहली बात तो ये है कि बहुत लोगों का आजकल आंखें खुल खुल रहा है ये सब देख के। ओ अच्छा ऐसा है, ओ अच्छा ये सब पहले भी हुआ था, ओ अच्छा डायरेक्ट एक्शन डे हुआ था। बहुत लोगों को ये सब पता भी नहीं था। तो people whose eyes are opening, they are of course going to, now the people, the gundas and stuff for Trinamool, they are going to be pissed off and going to do that kind of stuff for other people, against other people. But other people who are not awakened to these facts as of yet, even they will become they will be up for hire. क्योंकि अगर शुभेंदु सीएम बनता है 26 में, तो बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जिसके सामने थोड़ा सिर्फ पैसा डालना पड़ेगा। ये लोग नंगे होके मुजरा करेंगे शुभेंदु अधिकारी के सामने, ठीक है, हर पार्टी से आके। ग्रेविटी सिंह फाइट तो देंगे ही भाई, दैट आई हैव नो डाउट्स अबाउट। या वो तो मतलब लास्ट फाइट बन जाएगा कि नहीं, वो कंसर्न है। कुआसन, यस, here to learn has been asking this question for a long time now. He's saying, what's the solution? Who should do what? Kanchan Gupta says, due to democracy, people can't be saved. That disheartens me. What the hell, democracy? Not a bad argument. That argument has its limits. I guess we'll have to wait until someone on the other side of the political spectrum comes to power and then controls law and order, and then people will see, okay, this was a solution. So other than that, if we are having a democracy, then we will have to push for legal recourse, legal reformation to decolonizing self-defense laws, easy access. VHP, RSS, they should be legally going around donating, distributing self-defense stuff, okay, and they should be legal. That's the law we are talking about. If not, देखते हैं कैसे तुम क्या उखाड़ते हो, कैसे डिक्टेटरशिप लाते हो। अगर डिक्टेटरशिप नहीं लाते हो भोसरी वाले, तो ये लॉ हमको दो और फ्री में दो, फेस्टिवल्स करो ये सबके। प्रखर श्रीवास्तव का कमेंट कहाँ गया? Even after this, TMC will get more thumping majority in 2026 election. I don't think BJP will still be able to make it. What are your views? I personally, Prakhar, don't think that will be the case. I think BJP is this time too serious. They are really after the 42 MP seats that they need in 2029. They don't want to rely on UP anymore. That's why I think they will manage elections really well, which they have not been able to do up until now, or they have not wanted to do up until now, so that they got Trinamool support in the parliament. This time they are not even getting the support of Trinamool in the parliament, or neither are they walking out and stuff. And वहाँ पे यूपी में पीछे छोड़ा भी लग गया. Therefore, I think for safety sake, for 2029 sake, they now want Bengal absolutely. तो इसलिए मैनेज करेंगे इलेक्शंस, और मैनेज करके ही इलेक्शंस होता है बंगाल में. ISF needs to break TMC's monopoly. Yes. Kanchan Gupta is simply relying on निरंजन दा, डिक्टेटरशिप की इनकी औकात नहीं है. हाँ भाई, डिक्टेटरशिप एक्सेप्ट कराना बहुत बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. उसके लिए कुछ ब्राह्मण भोजन भी नहीं किया आज तक. वो मतलब किसी को कन्विंस तो करना है कि देखो भाई सच में ये बहुत बढ़िया है. तो मुझे तो लगता भी नहीं है कि बढ़िया है, बट एनीवे, मतलब इतने सारे लोगों को उड़ाना पड़ेगा डिक्लेयर करके कि देखो आज से हम डिक्टेटर है. कल तक प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, आज से हम डिक्टेटर है. वो सब नहीं होगा. Nobo is saying, why not depend on UP seats? I believe there is personal rivalry with Yogi Adityanath because of him not being from RSS, VHP, BJP and stuff, and also because UP really fucked them this time. Gravity saying, I did a math, and according to that, it will take 120 crore to make 6,400 small MMA gyms across all Hindu villages and towns. Shortage of trainers. Gravity, You know, every all those trainers don't. How many small gyms? 6,400 small gyms. No, yeah, there are definitely not 6,400 people in Bengal who know MMA. But there can be a start. So instead of spending 120 crores, spend 20 crores in villages. Make it a weekend thing. Make all the trainers of Kolkata go there and teach village kids. RSS शाखा है, वहां पे डंडेबाजी हो रहा है, ओके, हैया हैया हो रहा है, और वो मास्टर शिफुल भोसरी के सेल्फ डिफेंस के नाम पे जो जो फालतू का चुतियापा हर शहर में बेचा जाता है, नॉट जस्ट मास्टर शिफू। सुबह से शाम थोड़ा हैया हैया करो और हो गए तुम सेल्फ डिफेंस। तो लड़े, वो सब का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है कि ये आदमी आज यहाँ पे आके सिखाएगा, उसके साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, सिखा नहीं रहे हैं रियल स्टफ। तो इट्स एब्सोल्युटली डूएबल for some villages with much less amount of money. And then by the time, let's say, those people, those villages actually end up churning out able MMA fighters, तब तक तो हर जगह से और भी सीनियर और एक्सपीरियंस लोग होते रहेंगे, तो इट कैन ग्रेजुअली इंक्रीज एब्सोल्युटली। Dada, if election takes place in West Bengal without president rule, BJP can't manage election. Maybe. दादा, बिना पंचिंग बैग्स के पंचेस इंप्रूव नहीं किया जा सकते, आप क्या करते हैं? No, you can still do shadow boxing if you don't have a punching bag. Whatever works. If you do have a punching bag, great. Because punching bags that don't move away just because you hit it, they are really fucking costly. If you don't, then even shadow box. Be prepared to move in the same way that a fighter moves. Okay, and that requires insane amounts of lung endurance. Doing a 26-minute, 30-minute shadow boxing routine. Okay. The will to fight is a mindset. How many jats do MMA? The mindset is a very difficult task. No, that mindset people already have. Okay. Otherwise, who are the Trinamool Gundas who are going around killing other party people? This is another excuse that, oh, MMA is really not important. Yes, the jats who you are talking about, if most of them either at least are people who go to gyms, a lot of them do physical manual labor and stuff. Okay, a lot of them actually train MMA even. But let's say they don't do any of these three things, then they are absolutely untrained, useless fucks. Okay, they can't really do anything. Now, why don't you want to train MMA and handle those untrained fucks? Okay, that's the point. Center can give binding instruction to Bengal government with Art 256, 355 can be applied, declaring some district disturbed areas, and can take law and order under itself. For how long? What will they do to make it a good law and order situation? Do TMC Gundas also have potbellies? No, the people who do the organization of those Gundas, they have potbellies because they are millionaires by now. RSS should get fight instructor in their shakha and get neighborhood Hindu kids. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. दादा, अगर दिन रिस्क साइজের ইনক্রিজ, আগের দিন রিস্ক সাইজের ইনক্রিজটা আনসার করতে করতে রয়ে গেলে আর একটা ছিল যে ক্যান স্কিন রিস্ক বি মেড। নো, আই আনসার দিস লাস্ট ডে। Risks are whatever you are born with. The bones don't stretch. The only thing you can do is strengthen the muscles of your wrist and the elbows. Forget MMA. If a person has been to more than one serious street fight during schools and colleges, that fear of getting hit or hurt will decrease significantly. Yes. আমরা পেটও বাঁধবে পাড়া জুতোর ফিতে বাজছে পইতে দিয়ে। MMA might be important, but it doesn't help in front of a mob with stones. So what? You don't have stones? Oh, you mean stacked stones? Yes, then to. But again, it's a useless comment because it's not a solution. What I'm suggesting is at least remotely a solution. तो वो stones है, तो तुम भी घर में stones रखो। किसने मना किया तुमको भाई? तुम तो और भी easy situation बता रहे हो। What about increasing police to population ratio? How will that help? Do you think police are allowed to do what they want? अगर 10 के जगह 40 पुलिस रखो और फिर उनको भी बोलो कि नहीं भोसड़ी के उसको नहीं रोको, तो क्या होगा उससे? Police are outnumbered. They are outnumbered conveniently, deliberately. Yes, yeah, none of that is going to help if you don't train how to fight. Let's see. Dada, I'm 5'7". Can I handle 6 feet men? If you're trained, yes. If you are 5'7", that's an advantage because your takedowns are even going to be more brutal. Those tall guys are going to be off balance. Height is hardly an advantage in fighting. Can you read my comments? If they are half an hour back, then no. শুভেন্দু বলেছে যারা বিজেপি রুলড কাজ করতে গেছে তাদের দিয়ে রিকভার করা ইয়েস ইয়েস Shubhendu has said he will recover all the money that has been wasted by burning public property. Lol. দাদা ইউজ কার্ল মার্কস ভিক্টরিজ ইয়া আমাদের ছোটবেলাতে সঙ্গের শাখাতে মাঠ জুড়ে বাচ্চাদের পিটি করানো হতো ইয়া পিটি স্টিল বেটার দ্যান নাথিং বাট অ্যাবসলিউটলি ইউজলেস ইন দ্য সিচুয়েশন দ্যাট উই আর ইন নাও yes low center of gravity is advantages in fights more agility and mobility yes Dada, banana or any fruit in the morning, then warm up and the exercises you showed last stream. After this pea protein, you should. Depends on how much of the workout you're doing. I personally do intermittent fasting, so I never have a breakfast. But whenever you have a breakfast, even if you don't do intermittent fasting, the first meal ideally should be a protein shake. But see if your body takes it. Most people's body accept a protein shake, but if you have some genetic flaw and stuff, if your liver or kidney is exceptionally fucked up because of your some problems in your genes, then of course protein shakes might give you loose motions. If you are getting loose motions because of protein shakes for 2-3 days, then quit it. Hiran Sharkar is saying defunding, banning or regulating the teachings of madrasas is the single biggest measure government can take to curb Islamist thoughts. Yes, 5,500 crores. Okay. Just based on the majoritarian myth that yes, they are minorities, they are a threat, therefore let them get educated in their own seminaries. Okay, like okay, dogs have 4 legs, therefore Mount Everest is snowy. What a fucking acid trip of our trajectory of thoughts. Muslims are in the minority, they are vulnerable, therefore they must study in a madrasa, and therefore a broke ass state like West Bengal will pay 5,500 crores to fund those madrasas. Dude, the demographics of Murshidabad, Malda are kind of wild. Do you think it is only going to get worse from now on? Yes. All the policies people coming up with is based on government. People don't realize government is the reason why you are here in the first place. Now yes. If you eat sugar, you're heavy. Okay. Both police reforms and self-defense rights are important. Excuse me. In fact, in this case, self-defense rights are more important. Yes. Ash Ketchum, police reforms in Bengal's context are not important. Police reforms are important for states where there is in fact a well-intentioned chief minister or a political party in power. And I don't consider it just a BJP thing. In no other state do you see such violence on election days, right? So I'm saying even non-BJP political parties are 100 times better than Trinamool Congress in every other state. So for those states, police reforms might help them. Just because they're outnumbered and stuff. In Bengal, if you hire 2 million more police officers, the orders are going to be the same. Do this, don't do this. तो अब जितने लोग हैं उसके ट्रिपल लोग आके तुमसे हफ्ता वसूली ज्यादा करेंगे. राइट के दिन बचाने आएंगे नहीं. So police reform is absolutely irrelevant in West Bengal's context. Lapan Puri is saying, will feminism and technology be able to kill? No. Feminism to we will only kill. Should Bengali Hindus think about Israel-like solution? Yes. 70% reservations in Karnataka according to the leaked casts. The only way forward, guys. I hate to be an absolutist in anything, but on caste, the only explanation that is the right explanation, okay? No other explanation is the right explanation, is the one provided by Mr. Sociologist and myself. And that is the only thing that can take forward. It doesn't absolve any wrongdoing. It doesn't come up with weird justifications. It doesn't come up with today's retribution. Unless that discourse becomes mainstream, we are fucked for the foreseeable future. The main problem was the Radcliffe line instead of Murshidabad, Khulna, Joshua should have been taken. Some people think vote can affect the result. In my opinion, it's just a mirage because majority. Yes, good lord, yes. And also, the elections that happen in those places are not fair elections in the first place. They are managed elections. People should study the Anushilon Samiti and people like Binay Badal Dinesh. I heard in some places recently that Anushilon Samiti wasn't really popular. Oh, no, not some places. Tathagata Roy was saying that the Anushilon Samiti was not really that popular. We, of course, glorify it because it's a nice thing to talk about. It's a glorious phase in Bengal's history, but they were not all that mainstream, you know. Tathagata Roy was saying this. I'm not sure if change of political leadership will affect police in Bengal. They are down and out 34 years and now 15 years. The structure is puppeted. If you can't decide on spore, you can't police. I don't know. A chief minister's orders might be a little too significant to be ignored. And also, you must remember that even many police officers are not completely brain dead. A lot of them have been seeing these things with their own eyes on the ground level for years now. A lot of them are waiting with bated breaths के सिर्फ ऑर्डर दो भोसली के हम दिखा देंगे कि हम भी योगी जी के तरह काम कर सकते हैं. I bet there are police officers like that. Sometimes I think democracy isn't made for Bengalis. Bengalis have not been democratic have they ever been democratic? I guess BC law and all, I don't know about the election qualities, but our Congress was mostly winning unopposed for the longest time. Okay. Dindal Upadhyay randomly, mysteriously dies in a train. Savarkar is in jail because Liaquat Ali Khan was coming for 5 days. He gets thrown in jail for fucking 100 days. Okay. So when did they really face a challenge? The moment they faced challenges from the Naxals, Sridharta Shankar Rai becomes a complete monster. Jyoti Basu was a monster. Buddhadev Bhattacharya was not monster. Gets fucked completely. Then again, Mamata Banerjee. So Bengalis can't even spell democracy properly. We can match the seat numbers in Hindu dominator. Yeah. Trying to achieve a consensus of whether dictatorship will be accepted or not is like reaching dictatorship to democracy. Yes, that's how dictatorships happen. People collectively agree that yes, chalo bahut ho gaya ye sab, chalo ab dictator ban jao. Will migration of Bangladeshi Hindus change the democracy of Bengal? Yes, it has already changed and it will go on changing. I don't believe too many Bangladeshis will be kicked out. Some symbolic number might be kicked out, but mostly no, because Bangladeshi illegal immigrants are underpaid and very well employed all over the country. All those businessmen, what will they do? They will be happy with that. They will then donate to BJP next time if all of these cheap laborers are kicked away to Bangladesh. Thank you, Havler Prince. That's a compliment. Mamata, yeah. People here are still optimistic about government. I am here thinking about yes. Anyone who is optimistic about governments will have their asses handed out to them. Lokavya is saying we will survive and reclaim our civilization, or will we continue to lose it as we are and be balkanized like Europe and Middle East? 1/3 of the subcontinent is gone anyway. Please be realistic. No, Bengal will be gone. Rest of India will survive, because in the mindset of the right wingers of India, we have mostly been Israelified. So a germ, a seed of Israel-like thoughts are there in every young right winger today. So that will keep on growing and growing. Inception हो गया है वो thought का, वो बढ़ते रहेगा, वो पौधा एक दिन बड़ा होगा, तो उन लोगों के descendants को कोई छू नहीं सकता है. Bengalis are fucked. केरला एंड तमिलनाडु, अरे केरला एंड तमिलनाडु होगा तो रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया के अंडर, वो अलग से देश निकाल तो नहीं पाएंगे लौड़े, क्योंकि इंडियन आर्मी अभी भी डेडिकेटेड है. तो वहां पे अपने आप से शेनानिगन्स करते रहेंगे, डंडे पड़ेंगे. और मगर बंगाल का क्या है कि एक तो है भोसरी वाला, उसके ऊपर से है भिखारी. दैट्स अ बिगर प्रॉब्लम. Should 2026 elections be done under president's rule? One Mamta play the sympathy card, then that kind of sympathy doesn't work. No one's going to vote for Mamta just because it's such a sad situation. Mass immigration into Bengal. Yeah, Bengal will be mostly left to Hindu Biharis and Muslim Biharis as well as Muslim Bangladeshis to fight out. If Bengal goes, then Northeast goes away with it, right? If it is a controlled destruction, then no. I believe Bengal should be amputated to save the rest of the body. It's a gangrenous region. Throw it to AFSPA forever and after. Keep it as a buffer zone and then control the Northeast. Yuga transition is happening, believe it or not. Deported or not, Bangladeshi illegal Muslims should be taken away their right to vote. How will you prove they are illegal here on Sarkar? All of them have other cards. You can't prove anyone to be an illegal Bangladeshi. Excuse me. That's why I say, Dada, if Bengal is gone, then take Chittagong problem of Northeast will be solved. Bangladesh has to be annexed. How did Bengal not have a 100% literacy rate like Kerala, both being ruled by commies? Only answer, Ash, is the subtle casteism in West Bengal. Just because of the casteism, which people like to call elitism, classism, etc. But hai bhai casteism hi, because it was being done by specific castes against specific castes. And yeah, Bengal is too important economically and strategically. Well, then keep fucking the rest of the country. What about all right-wing YouTubers hinting at sitting Chittagong and Rangpur? Is there any truth to it? I don't know. I've not heard anything of it. Will Bengalis be ever respected by rest of Indians after they? No. Not in our lifetimes. We will have some reminiscence that there will be some remnants of a bit of respect, but mostly we are going to be better versions of Biharis. See, even in the music scene in Mumbai today, in the Mumbai industry, if you go from Kolkata, you garner a bit of an extra respect that, oh, you come from Bengal, the land of music, Sholil Chaudhuri. Everyone learns music in Kolkata or Bengal. They don't know it's mainly Brahmin boy, those guys, but even that's going to go to hell immediately, because the best arrangers, music producers, mix engineers in Mumbai are no longer Bengali. Only Pritam is there. But now the best stuff is being done by Assamese people. Gravity saying divide Bengal into 3 parts: North Bengal till Dinajpur, South West Bengal as another one, and then make Malda, Murshidabad, Nadia. I am warming up to the idea. If I believe that Bengal is done, if I believe Bengal is beyond salvation, then beyond salvaging, then to this makes sense. We need to save Bengal. India doesn't want to lose those high culture and old British buildings and aesthetic bhikari cafes. Dada, did you see ally of BJP in Tripura saying openly to annex Chittagong? I see. Okay, some positive questions now. What 3 good things do you think Bengal still has in Hindutva scenario? The power of discourse. The Bengali minds by default has a social science way of thinking. If you trained more people to with the kind of syllabus that has been promoted by Mr. Sociologist and stuff, okay, or the discourse I'm bringing, if you train a bunch of Bengalis in that kind of discourse, then the discourse war is over before commies fucking know it. Okay, it will be done. It will be a blitzkrieg. Other than that, nothing. Dada, what workout do? You do it every day on the day you are fasting? Yes, I fast almost every day. I do basically those 2-3 varieties I showed on the workout video, those only. Okay, on one day Navy SEAL workouts, on one day a bunch of shadow boxing. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solo workouts I don't do anymore. As a replacement for that, I do all my weights and stuff. I got some kettlebells, med balls, mudgals, 2 dumbbells. Discourse. Social science is indoctrinated into communist wet dreams. And yes, not your average run of the mill is saying yes, this fact. And it's very important to note that because Bengalis have been commies for all these years, therefore they have a social science bent of mind, and therefore the moment they turn right winger, other right wingers of the other states can't touch them on discourse generation and social science. Okay, and social science is the biggest game that has been fucking Hindutva and Hinduism in the last 100 years. Okay, and why is that? Because a communist at least thinks about stuff ideologically, theoretically. For him, here's the temporal realm. Here's the ideological ecclesiastical realm in the clouds. Okay, the rest of the country does not really think that way. They are more with power and money and stuff. Okay, चाचा विधायक etc. यहाँ पे चाचा विधायक सबको चाहिए, मगर कोई बोलेगा नहीं. तो बोलेंगे कि हाँ हमारे चाचा जो विधायक है, and you see that's a very nice thing because Karl Marx said this thing. So when that ideological twisted social science way of thinking is applied towards non-left things, then the anti-Hindutva discourse or the pro-left discourse is going to be fucked beyond recognition. It seems Bengal needs divine intervention. It will not happen because no one in Bengal respects Hindu gods the way they are meant to. They only think of Hindu gods as ATMs and travel agents and marriage counselors. Like in my neighborhood. You won't believe this. I'm not making this up. Believe me, if you're a viewer of mine, okay? I would not be lying about these things. I have no agenda to lie about these things. You all know that recently I had to adopt a stray dog because the entire neighborhood loves stray dogs. That stray dog was abandoned by some random, nobody knows from where. They came to this, that dog came to this neighborhood. Everyone loved that dog. And that dog, since it came from a family, it thought every human wants to pet it. So it used to jump or go to get some pets from every random stranger. And they used to get scared and stuff. And then everyone in the neighborhood would explain to them, no, that dog doesn't do anything. Don't be scared, etc. 2 families in the entire neighborhood, okay, opposed to this. Okay, just 2 families. And to be fair, 2 women from 2 families. Okay. Just those 2 women filed an FIR against that dog. And the municipal corporation were about to send their vans to pick that dog up, send them somewhere else. I don't know how the fuck that works, because if a random dog shows up at another neighborhood or another dog's doorstep, they are not going to be anarcho-capitalist or sarvadharma vadapav about it. Or what's the Hindu slogan for the world is a family? Yeah, Vasudhaiva Kutumba to kutte nahi bolenge. Wo unko kha jayenge. That's the day I had to adopt him, and I named him Max Weber, because an ancient dog of mine, one of the first dogs I ever got friendly with was called Max. Actually, a viewer suggested, oh, so easy, Max Weber. Now, why am I bringing this up? The 2 women who mainly opposed it were from the most religious, or probably the only religious families in the entire neighborhood. One of them has a very, very significant Ma Kali idol completely forever installed in their homes. It's so significant that people come from different parts of the neighborhood, or anyone who passes by their house does some pranam of it. Okay. And the other house, that family is from the Vaishya caste, Vaishya Varna. The other family from where the woman opposed and called up the police is a Brahmin whose son, husband, father-in-law are all day long doing some puja part or specific rituals on their terrace in front of the tulsi plant and stuff. Okay. On the other hand, there's another family who's not that religious and stuff. Every day when I take my dog out to walk, even now, he says anyone from that family, it's a huge joint family, okay, that family. There are about, 15 people living in one house of 3-4 stories, okay. That dog goes fucking crazy seeing any one of them, okay. Now you tell me, if you believe in Hindu gods, who is Ma Kali really blessing here? Who has Bhairava's blessings here? Okay. That this is the kind of Hinduism that Bengalis believe in. तो कहाँ डिवाइन इंटरवेंशन? गॉड्स देखेंगे, अगर थोड़ा नोटिस भी करते हैं, बोलेंगे अच्छा लगना चाहिए इन लोगों को और अच्छे से. No, I don't know Gaurav Shah. যাদবপুরের রিসেন্ট হিন্দু অ্যাক্টিভিটি সাস্টেন করবে মিনিং ইনসাইড যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি? Yeah, it will. I have Kolkata neighbor left-wing bitchy who similarly acted against my mom for feeding cats. So-called Bhadralok leading the discourse could be the main problem. It is the main problem, but the counter is that creating, we need a new breed of Bhadraloks. Bhadralokism rahega hi. Is part of your pessimism because you are from the Kolkata Bhadraloks cadre and haven't actually seen Bengalis fight? Yeah, I've seen Bengalis fight on TV forever. I've seen CPM people fight Trinamool people fight CPM people. Let's be real, most of the average people doesn't have any particular worldview. If you want to map their beliefs and decisions, they just operate in silence. Yes. Will BJP coming in power in 2026 make Bengalis complacent or excited? Some of them will be disappointed, some of them will be excited, but gradually the entire status quo will change. Barbarika Smithri is saying we need an aggressive Hindu non-political organization on group. Yeah, anytime your solution starts with we need a, it means it's a lazy solution and it's not going to happen. Anyone can come up with we need a solution. Bhadralok cadre. Yeah. And then the non-Bhadraloks have done so much for Bengal, you see. See, just because we or I am criticizing Bhadraloks doesn't mean I'm letting the rest of Bengal go scot-free. Yeah, like a few days back, someone was saying that, I posted some comments, some Facebook status, someone started saying that, oh, must be a Bangal who came from Bangladesh in 1947. Yeah, as if Ghotis were all gigantic Hindutwadi libertarians who were really contributing to the economy. लौड़े बंगाल्स को रहने का जगह नहीं दे रहे थे, खाने को कुछ नहीं दे रहे थे, भगा रहे थे अपने लोकेशन से, और उनको अब हीरो बनना है क्योंकि Bangals mainly became commies. Bhadraloks changed their ideology too very quickly. Once they were the godfathers of Hindutva, then they became commie. Yes, they will again. CSK Navadip Mayaputta Bachache Tai ISKCON and similar organization are the future of Bengali, like it or not RKM. I don't think so. Neither RKM, not ISKCON. If we can detect Bangladeshis, at the very least take away. You can't detect. Anything else? Just shift the capital to Siliguri or Kharagpur. Bhadraloks will get irrelevant immediately. Yes. Legitimacy, proximity to power and legitimacy is everything. I can challenge you. I can do two things. I have two superpowers now. If you talk to me for 5-10 minutes and you are a Bengali from West Bengal and you don't tell me your caste, by talking to you for 5-10 minutes, I will guess your caste. Or if you tell me your caste, I will tell you where you are from, at least whether you are from Kolkata or not. Okay, that's how stark and obvious the Brahmin Boito caste situation is in Bengal. So yes, shifting the capital will probably be significant. Bangals did become commies. Places like Jadavpur, Bagajatin, and Vijaygarh were the strongest force of commies. Yeah, and the Ghotis were Congressis. What were they doing? Why do Congressis go scot-free here? I know only the difference between Jwal and Pani as an outsider. No. Ghotis are people who were the Bengalis living here forever, at least until the from the time when Brahmins first came to Bengal, and Bangals are who came here during 47 and 50. Okay, go ahead and tell me if I'm from Kolkata. I've never spoken to you. At least stop funding of madrasas. I don't think that's going to happen. That's going to take a libertarian outlook. Do you see any upcoming leader? In politics, though, yeah, Shubhendu. In society, no. Likelihood of organized violence like Murshidabad in Kolkata mainland? I think so far it's not been happening because of the lack of masjids. Places where there are masjids, there it will probably happen pretty soon. It's not that difficult to identify Bangladeshis, I can. Yeah, with their pronunciations, but not legally. Did I miss any super chats? Oh, yeah, I took all these super chats, no? Okay, then. We are reaching 2 hours now. I think we had a great, fruitful discussion. Barbaric Smriti is saying you can detect big data analytics, merge cell phone data, UPI, family networks. The red flags will go up, and yeah, we have let go of our privacy already. Why not let go of some more privacy to catch Bangladeshis? Yes, and they're definitely not going to use it for anything else against us. But it's not hard to defeat the mob. Yes, they look scary. They're irregular, not professional help. Yes, we need to take a moment to thank Silicon Valley for this discussion. South Korea makes the big strips. Let us focus on the small ones. Let's say you hypothetically became CM of West Bengal. What will you do, or your decisions will be? Mostly, every government institutions will be closed down. All schools, colleges, madrasa, everything will be closed down. All taxes will be ended. All state taxes will be gone, and complete leeway to private enterprises. Police will be there for a while. Police will be in my hands for a while, just to make sure enough ruckus creators get beaten up. Pretty soon they won't be required because all of them will be in a job. Because most people can be today hired to be gundas because they don't have jobs. Which is why even after Shubhendu becomes the CM, he will have a tough fucking time, because either he will have to handle a bunch of gundas, which he will probably do happily, or he will be opposed by a bunch of gundas who are also jobless. So employment is a joke of a situation. So if so many people are unemployed, they are going to be looking up to fellow gundas in their neighborhoods. People in Bengal today look up to other school dropouts, college dropouts, who have become Trinamool's gundas and have they have become rich, have costly watches, costly bikes and stuff. Okay, Aadhaar is not proof of citizenship. It is written on the back. Yeah, they have everything related to citizenship. Ramakrishna Mission performing Jesus Puja. Your thoughts? Yeah, it's we have discussed this countless times, but it's not. Well, I have spoken to a Ramakrishna Mission guy himself. His idea was that his explanation was, apologia was that, see, Swami Vivekananda said that politics might come and go, politicians will come and go, ideologies will come and go, but this institution must live on for 1,000 years. So for that, they must do some shenanigans. I have a hunch. If Shubhendu becomes the CM, and if he remains the CM for too long, he will develop Mendipur city in a way so that capital can be shifted. It's close to the river and stuff as well. Sanjeev Sanyal said we can't do Doge like Blitzkrieg, so how can libertarians do it with this much confidence? Well, he may have restraints on what he can say. The Gundagardi itself is a job like terrorism, yes. Free market libertarianism, yes. So the funding for goonship needs to be taken care of, yes. Isn't that Dehatism? No. Our old viewer who has now unsubscribed our channel because I criticized him for asking to send Ranveer Allahabadiya to jail for 5 years, used to always say this as well. That's not Dehatism, because a lack of law and order is not the same as law and order where free people thrive. Shubhendu Adhikari for many times expressed his frustration with Kolkata and Bhadaloks. You don't have to fool Brahmin Buddha of Kolkata. They are born fools. No, you have to fool them in order to change their minds. Is RKM really following philosophy of Swami Vivekananda? According to them, yes. You realize all the data is already gathered, right? All I'm suggesting is actually run algorithms to find obvious errors and inactive issues, not an invasion of privacy. Really. All the puncture wallahs data are also collected. Best capital city is Bardhaman, more centrally located and not very far from Kolkata. Perhaps. I once asked RKM Swami who was doing this Jatama Tatapat. RKM closed in Lahore, Alpindi. I went, Mom. Relationships yet India is not a banana. What about motion detecting tethered drones all along the border? Will it stop infiltration? Probably yes. I believe in the future, let's say some decades from now, there will be autonomous bullets. There we won't even need drones and guns and stuff. Bullets will automatically go and go into the bodies of people who must be killed by the state and stuff. So only then, when that day comes, can in illegal infiltration be completely stopped. Not until then, and the people who have already come in can't be sent back because they are happily employed. Should India have an AI facial recognition system like China has for every single person? It can be effective for in maintaining law and order. Yeah, law and order with good intentioned prime ministers would be good. If it's Rahul Gandhi handling that, then you and I are fucked. আগামী দিনে বাঙালি হিন্দু বিলুপ্ত হয়ে যাবে না, বাঙালি হিন্দু থাকবে, বেঙ্গলে থাকবে না। নিজের দেশের প্রোডাক্টকে আঘাত করে পাকিস্তানি প্রোডাক্টকে প্রমোট করছে এই দেশের সেকুলাররা, এটা নিয়ে কি বলবেন? ইউ মিন ইন টার্মস অফ মিউজিক অর আদার স্টাফ? When Hindus fight, we fight for a good, not land and riches. আবার ভালো কাকু argument. Why Congress bring right to information bill? Any reason from Congress side? No idea. I'm not updated with that. Medinipur is already close to IIT. Throw in decent start. Yeah, Sudipto Barbarikadi, have you checked out our conversation with Sudipto Guho the last time he came in on a Bangla podcast? He had some nice plans. Oh, Ruafza. Ruafza is Pakistani. Oh, I did not know that. I thought it's owned by some Muslim guy in India. Holy shit. Yeah, अब तो रुआवजा पे तो करना ही होगा because Pakistan is a land of great music and वो हमारे मोहनजोदारो हड़प्पा, तो वहां का फ्रूट जूस तो पीना ही होगा। और फ्रूट जूस में भाई रिलीजन कैसा और पॉलिटिक्स कैसा? फ्रूट जूस तो फ्रूट जूस ही है। On the one hand, they will say don't go to Steven Wilson's concert because he is a Zionist. On the other hand, they will say fruit juice and music has no politics, bro. Oh, it's not fruit juice. What the fuck is it made of? Shit. Ruafza is Pakistani work of property. Chini gola lal jal, I see. What can be the side effects of tracking people with AI facial recognition through CCTVs? How can it be used in a sinister way? Today, they have to at least go through some hurdles to threaten you, send gundas to you. Now it will be easier. It's a sugary syrup. 87% sugar. Only Bengali leftists can celebrate this. 95% sugar. What the fuck? Oh my god. No fruit content. Rose essence. Acha. Gulab. Bhai, 6th time asking CSK what pea protein. Oh yeah, I'm going on forgetting mentioning this question. Lol. Do you take it 12 months a year? No. I take right now I am taking a company called Nutrabay. I preferred My Protein, but My Protein is a very, very legendary sports nutrition brand. It manufactures protein shakes in England and was giving it out here for cheaper than Indian brands because of how much they deal in bulk. But then our babus and the tariffs and stuff fuck their business. So now they have discontinued pea protein. Now I'm taking Nutrabay. I don't take it 12 months a year, only in the sense that whenever one jar finishes, I take a break for a few days and then order, just because I need to give my body a break from this art after all, which is what is an artificial product. That's all. It's only sugar. There are two branches, I guess. One is in Pakistan, one other is in India. I see. One brother went to Pak and one stayed in India. Puncture wala SIM cards will still be used issued against another card or PAN if that exists. Only on paper. Go check the provided residence. You can't find them. Give a month deadline. Blacklist all. This blacklist idea was kind of discussed by one viewer of ours, one guest of ours on our podcast, Debjani Bhattacharya. Partition time divided Hamdard company into two. Oh, it is both Indian and Pakistani. Hamdard company in India and Hamdard oh, acha. Can we blame our parents for putting us in this mess? Did boomers fuck up millennials? Parents, generation definitely. Directly parents, no point. It's not an individual problem. The government is they are also products of the discourse of the day. The government is building on an app for digital Aadhaar, maybe. Okay. Have you named your guitar? No. I named my bike. চিকেন ব্রেস্ট কিভাবে কিনবো ভাই? মুরগির দুধু লাগবে, ওটা বলবো না। বাড়িতে চিকেন রাখি কারণ কেমন একটা লাগবে বলতে। চিকেন ব্রেস্ট তো ফ্রোজেন টোজেনও পাওয়া যায় বোধহয়। সিএসকে পাকিস্তানে চলে যাও, হ্যাঁ, ওখানে গিয়ে লিবার্টেরিয়ান দেখো। Banning the voting rights of a certain community will fix everything. That law will need to be applied, but only after we annex Bangladesh and Pakistan and POK. My parents were living in the jungles in Madinipur. যাই হোক, পলিটিক্স তো হচ্ছে, যার জন্য রামদেব বাবার প্রোডাক্টকে নিয়ে মক করছে। Oh yeah, I saw some memes that even Ramdev Baba's products has that much of sugar. If India is a democracy of the people, by the people, for the people, then why can't all government functionaries be kept under surveillance? And why can't they always go to public hospitals? Why can't their children study in public schools? Those are the two most important things that must be mandatory. Other is not proof of citizenship. That's not a problem. They have voter cards as well. Tomar dream bike ki? Feasibly speaking, R15 V2 is good enough for me. But I had plans of someday owning a Ninja ZX 10R. Rather compare Bengalis with Malayali commies. I don't know too many Malayali people. I don't know their vibe at all. Chicken breast বলে ও একটু এক্সপেন্সিভ আর কিছু না। আচ্ছা, শুধু বলতে হবে না। R15 তো কম সিসির বাইক। Yeah, for feasibility purposes, for daily use and for mileage stuff, for full potential of the bike, R15 is good enough. Because Ninja ZX 10R is good only in theory. You'll not be able to use even 30% of its full capabilities on the roads of India. If you do, you'll probably end up hitting a dumb fuck blind guy on a bicycle or hit a cow. So no point really. দাদা ডিসকর্ড রাখো প্লিজ, হেভি হবে। না না না, কোনো গান্ডু গিয়ে ওখানে বলবে বাড়া একে উড়িয়ে দেওয়া হচ্ছে, তোকে উড়িয়ে দেওয়া হচ্ছে, তার না তো টমুল নিজে ইনফিলট্রেট করবে ওখানে, এসব বলবে, তারপরে আমরা সবাই কেস খাবো। পরোটা বিফ কারি rule of the was started by a Muslim in pre-partition India who had 2 sons, one of acha autobahn lagbe India yes. In solidarity with my how is it libertarian to stop one community from voting devil's advocate? Oh, because people who are opposed to libertarianism, people who are opposed to stuff like free speech, don't have the right to free speech. Tolerance will not be tolerated in my vision and the Libertarian Party of India's version of libertarianism. In last few years, number of madrasa is rapidly increasing. Yeah. How is what the hell is that bike? Why haven't I ever heard of this? Let me just Google it. Are you being sarcastic? Holy shit, it's actually a bike. I stopped researching bike in 2017 or 18. Oh, this bike. Yeah, this bike, it's pretty good, but other things you have to consider is whether it has good service staff in India and stuff. Like when first Benelli came to India, they did not have good staff. That's why they were getting screwed. Like first when Jeep came in, I heard many people were having problems and stuff. Are Bengalis lactose intolerant? Yes, actually, every human is pretty much lactose intolerant. Some just can get away with it. Otherwise, if people were not lactose intolerant, no one would have so much gas problems by consuming dairy. By the way, I think India should focus on. Oh, it's KTM owned here in India, and KTM is 49% owned by Bajaj, so it will be pretty good then, I think. Focus on CSK. By the way, I think India should focus on more trains, more speed, like make it private. First, they have to protect the rail lines from cows and elephants. Dada, what's your opinion on New World Order and BJP being part of it? Yeah, I think it's probably kind of happening. 1300cc beast. Get Pulsar Apache and be happy. Pulsar RS200 is really good. NS200 is really fucking good. Apache, I'm not that big of a fan. I'm mainly a Yamaha guy. FZ R15 V2. Have you checked Nazia Ilazi Khan's interviews on Mamta Walkoff? Again, not saying she is a good person, but seems useful. No, I haven't seen them. Are you sure that there is no future of Bengali Hindus in Bengal? Yes. Large portion of Bengalis are lactose and gluten intolerant. Pooja Chaudhary Basu, yeah, thank you. Good night. Classic 350 Dug niye khushi thako. Baler bike para. দমদমে ব্রেক মারবে, গড়িয়া গিয়ে থামবে। আর সবসময় বাড়ায়, ক্লাচ কেটে যাচ্ছে, ইঞ্জিন অয়েল লিক করছে। If someone can handle to move out from Bengal, they can rule for 20. वो सब नहीं होगा राहुल. Please answer my personal question, Dada. I live in a flat. I plan to buy home. Should I not even consider buying home in West Bengal? Should I not try to write literature or make songs in Bangla? No, you should write songs and literature in Bangla because there are rich and poor Bengalis who are living everywhere in the country. So make music and art for them. Do not fucking buy home in West Bengal. Do not invest that kind of money right now in West Bengal in the near future. I would not. You can do it. I would not. You should do it. Maybe you can do it. I would not. Dada, তুমি geopolitics follow করো? Somewhat. Trump stuff, yeah, somewhat. I saw he endorsed Vivek. Dada, coming back to my old question, who does Jesus Puja appeal to anyway in Bengal where Christian population? A good question. It appeals to their own followers, okay, which is a huge chunk of the state. RKM's own disciples. They think that, see, we are such a good organization, we are doing such great stuff by worshipping Jesus. Dada, your view on MK Stalin installing statue of Marx in Chennai? Ye to hona hi tha. My dream bike is that Gen 3 Busa. Aha. তাহলে বলছে যে ভুবনেশ্বর শিফট হওয়ার জন্য তৈরি থাকবো। I would. Is Calgary plan real from WEF? Some serious questions YouTube won't allow. No idea. I haven't heard of this. If you say Bengali Hindus don't have future, then are you planning to move out and become a Guji like me? You will never know. Royal Enfield, not a fan. Am I the only one who is seeing the surge in Urdu vocabulary in Bengali language by a large chunk of people? Yes. अब तो पहला बोईशाख को पहला बोईशाख बोल रहे हैं लोग. Is Ramakrishna Mission communist? Culturally, kind of. It's mainly the influence of Brahmo Samaj. বাঙালি কমিরা দিতে পারলে তামিলরা করবে না কেন? Yes. তাহলে কোথায় শিফট করবে? Obviously, I will never tell anyone. Nice discussion today for a long time. After a long time. And for a long time. Pehla Boishak, yes. Religion divides, culture unites, my belief. Does culture unite? I don't think so. Culture doesn't unite for a bunch of reasons, but let me show you what Ambedkar said on this, okay? Let me show you an old video of mine. Often words of mutual extermination. What was the Afghan? The Muslims themselves. This fact has. I'm going to discuss here a bunch of quotes from Ambedkar, who really like Muslims, okay? First, you'll hear some stuff you all already know. Then he'll discuss something on an uniting factor and whether culture can really help or not, okay? So wait for that part. Led by Ashraf Ali Thanawi. By the way, they're called Pasmandas. They actively abuse them in day-to-day life. For example, journalists Rana Ayub or Ajlafs who are please. Now, Maulana Madani was opposed by other Deobandis, and they were led by Ashraf Ali Thanawi. By the way, in the very name, you can see the word Ashraf, which is 10% of the total population of Indian Muslims. And these 10% are the sherwani-wearing, biryani-eating upper class of Muslims who oppress the rest of the lower class of Muslims called Arzals or Ajlafs, who are together called Pasmandas. These Ashrafs hijack the entire conversation around rights, reservations, government funds of Muslims by claiming to represent them, even though they not only don't represent all Muslims, they actively abuse them in day-to-day life. To learn about these atrocities, follow the works of Dr. Faiz Ahmed Faizi. And these Pasmandas, by the way, also become the foot soldiers in riots and stone pelting, which are provoked and called for by the Ashraf Maulanas. For example, journalist Rana Ayub is tweeting about Muslims being unsafe while posting pictures from her holiday on Instagram, while the Pasmanda kids brainwashed by these Ashrafs go to jail or get shot dead by the police. I'm sorry for digressing now, but let's read what Dr. Ambedkar points out about the differences in Muslim invaders and their common goal. Dr. Ambedkar writes in his book Pakistan or Partition of India in 1945, these invasions of India by Muslims were as much invasions of India as they were wars among the Muslims themselves. This fact has remained hidden because the invaders are all lumped together as Muslims without distinction. But as a matter of fact, they were Tartars, Afghans and Mongols. Muhammad of Ghazni was a Tartar. Mohammed of Ghori was an Afghan. Taimur was a Mongol. Babar was a Tartar, while Nadir Shah and Ahmed Shah Abdali were Afghans. In invading India, the Afghan was out to destroy Tartar and the Mongol was out to destroy the Tartar as well as the Afghan. They were not a loving family cemented by the feeling of Islamic brotherhood. They were deadly rivals of one another, and their wars were often wars of mutual extermination. What is, however, important to bear in mind is that with all their internecine conflicts, they were all united by one common objective, and that was to destroy the Hindu faith. This is a direct quote from Ambedkar's writing. By the way, allegedly, Ambedkar also hates Hinduism so much, but he's apparently bothered about people opposing or trying to end the Hindu faith. Now, it's important to note that Ambedkar, based on his reading of the nature of Islamic politics, was of the opinion that Hindus might not be safe in an independent, unpartitioned India because the British Raj army at the time had 34% Muslims. In this context, let us read how Ambedkar rejects the idea of Hindu-Muslim unity. He writes in his book, how far is it open to the Hindus to say that northern India is part of Aryavarta, which was the ancient name for India, among many like Bharat, Bharatvarsh, Bharat Khande, Aryavarta, Jambudip. How far is it open to the Hindus to say because once it belonged to them, therefore it must remain forever an integral part of India? Those who oppose separation and hold to the historic sentiment arising out of an ancient fact that northern India, including Afghanistan, was once part of India and that the people of that area were either Buddhists or Hindus, must be asked whether the events of these 762 years of incessant Muslim invasions, the object with which they were launched and the methods adopted by these invaders to give effect to their object are to be treated as though they were matters of no account. Apart from other consequences which have flowed from these invasions have, in my opinion, so profoundly altered the culture and character of the northern areas, which it is now proposed to be included in a Pakistan, that there is not only no unity between that area and the rest of India, but that there is a matter of fact, a real antipathy between the two. Now, he also says, what is the unity the Hindu sees between Pakistan and Hindustan? If it is geographical unity, then that is no unity. Geographical unity is unity intended by nature. In building up a nationality on geographical unity, it must be remembered that it is a case where nature proposes and man disposes. If it is unity in external things, such as ways and habits of life, that is no unity. Such unity is the result of exposure to a common environment. If it is administrative unity, then that again is no unity. Then he gives the example of Burma. And then he concludes it by saying, it is difficult to understand how the Hindus can object to the severance of an area like Pakistan, which, to repeat, is politically detachable from India and also socially hostile and spiritually alien to the rest of India. Now, Ambedkar further stresses the question of whether the Muslim percentage in the British Raj army is really safe for Hindus. In this context, he says, he writes, can the Hindus depend upon such an army to defend the country against the invasion of Afghanistan? Only the so-called Indian nationalists will say yes to it. The boldest among the realists must stop to think before he can give an answer to the question. The realist must take note of the fact that the Muslims look upon the Hindus as kafirs who deserve more to be exterminated than protected. The realist must take note of the fact that while the Muslim accepts the European as his superior, he looks upon the Hindu as his inferior. It is doubtful how far a regiment of Muslims will accept the authority of their Hindu officers if they be placed under them. The realist must take note that of all the Muslims, the Muslim of the Northwest is the most disaffected Muslim in his relation with the Hindus. The realist must take note that the Punjabi Muslim is fully susceptible to the propaganda in favor of pan-Islamism, which means a worldwide Islamic identity. Taking note of all these considerations, there can be very little doubt that he would be a bold Hindu who would say that in any invasion by Muslim countries, the Muslims in the Indian army would be loyal and that there is no danger of their going over to the invader. Even Theodore Morrison, writing in 1899, was of the opinion that the views held by the Mohammedans, certainly the most aggressive and truculent of the peoples of India, are alone sufficient to prevent the establishment of an independent Indian government. Were the Afghan to descend from the north upon an autonomous India, the Mohammedans, instead of uniting with the Sikhs and the Hindus to repel him, would be drawn by all ties of kinship and religion to join his flag. And when it is recalled that in 1919, the Indian Muslims who were carrying on the Khilafat movement actually went to the length of inviting the Amir of Afghanistan to invade India, the view expressed by Sir Theodore Morrison acquires added strength and ceases to be a matter of mere speculation. How this army composed of the Muslims of the Punjab and northwest frontier province will behave in the case of an invasion by Afghanistan is not the only question which the Hindus are called upon to consider. There is another and equally important question on which the Hindus must ponder. That question is, will the Indian government be free to use this army, whatever its loyalties, against the invading Afghans? In this connection, attention must be drawn to the stand taken by the Muslim League. It is to the effect that the Indian army shall not be used against Muslim powers. There is nothing new in this. This principle was enunciated by the Khilafat Committee long before the League. Apart from this, the question remains how far the Indian Muslims will, in future, make it their article of faith. That the League, the not your average run of the mill. Everything I'm reading out right now is from Ambedkar's book, Pakistan or Partition of India. Muslim League, that the League's an Indian government. The chance that it will, because however unpatriotic the principle may be from the standpoint of the Hindus, it is most agreeable to the Muslim sentiment, and the Muslim League may find a sanction for it in the general support of the Muslim community in India. If the Muslim League succeeds in enforcing this limitation upon Indians, upon the Indians' right to use her fighting forces, what is going to be the position of the Hindus? This is another question which the Hindus have to consider. If India remains politically one whole and the two-nation mentality created by Pakistan continues to be fostered, the Hindus will find themselves between the devil and the deep sea so far as the defense of India is concerned. So here we end our discussion of Ambedkar's views on Hindu-Muslim unity and the partition in detail. And tomorrow, or probably the day after, we will discuss why Ambedkar vehemently and vigorously opposed the idea of a separate electorate for Muslims. So anyway, we here to learn গ্লোফো কিছু ছিল না, ওটা একটা ফিল্টার লাগানো ছিল, ওটা লাইভ স্ট্রিম না, ওটা তো ভালো করে এডিট করে করা, আলাদা করে ফোনের ক্যামেরা তোলা, এটা একটা ওয়েব ক্যামে করা স্ট্রিমিয়ার যেখানে পোদ মারছে পুরো স্ট্রিমটা, সেই জন্য। তো ইয়া, this is what Ambedkar says. He says, can we even trust Muslims to be in the army? And Indian army has not really betrayed us like that, but the Muslims in the Maharaja's army proved Ambedkar right like only 2 years after the book was written. Okay, all the Gurkhas were tied up, their throats slit, tied up and thrown into the Jhelum River when they were sleeping by the Muslims who were their compatriots. Then those Muslim soldiers go to another camp, another fort. Those Gurkha soldiers think, okay, now finally I will have come, now we'll chill a little. They say, yes, chill. They go to sleep, again cut their throats off, torture to death their leader, throw their bodies in the Jhelum River, freezing Jhelum River. Okay, just because on the day before, the night before, a call for jihad went and everyone got the news that, oh, Pakistan is happening, I guess we are going to Pakistan. There was the Lion of Nowshera, a Muslim general from the Indian army, who was repeatedly pleaded to join Pakistan. He said, fuck off, I will forever be an Indian. That's when Indian army went there and handled matters, all this ruckus. He was one of the people who handled that ruckus. He died on the day after the victory. He was having a cup of coffee right outside his tent. A shell mortar landed on his feet and he died. So he's really hated by Islamists. All the commies, all even the Bengali commies who are pro-Palestine and stuff, all of them hate that Lion of Nowshera. I keep forgetting his name. His burial near Jamia Millia Islamia University is repeatedly desecrated, and Indian army repeatedly goes there and reconstructs it. Why are you saying we can't trust? We should be wary of commies more than... I'm not saying it, Ambedkar is saying it. Can I recommend a book suggested by the Jaipur Dialogues Dikshit ji? Yes, of course. INA Generals of Boss কি করেছিল একটু দেখো। I don't know. Yes, এটা কর্নেল অজয় রানা বলেছিল ঝিলামের গল্পটা। Oh, I see. I found, yeah. Shanawaz Khan, yes. Lion of Nowshera. Yeah, Call of Jihad is like a kill switch. Yes, that is what will kill Bengal. And that's what happened in Raja Krishnadev Rai's Vijayanagar Empire as well. He had 2 Muslim generals, got fucked. Oh, Shanawaz Khan. Yes, the Shanawaz committee. My thoughts on culture unite is if Bengal was Hindu and Buddhist inhabitants, so then we can say that culture unite. Not in the case of, yeah, fair enough. Even then, Hinduism doesn't really unite. If I guess you're saying religion doesn't unite. that unity would be pretty useless. That would not get us really anything significant. It would require so many prerequisites and what ifs that it's almost pointless. What's the percentage in police? Don't even. If you don't know the answer to that, then you probably should not be buying, investing in Bengal. What is the long-term 100-year solution to this problem? What problem? Bengal or that culture problem? Gandhian socialist का कैसा was masquerading and Siznatwadis? Yep, that's not all of BJP. Do you miss your old room? Yes. Will the stateless Bengalis be Hindutva even or continue to be Atal? No, they will be Hindutva. Some of them won't be probably, but since the status quo of discourse is kind of changing, Overton window is shifting, so a lot of them mostly will be Hindutva only. Dada, what would have happened if Bangladesh became communist state after its separation from Pakistan? Same things probably, for different reasons. Our problems with them would be pretty much the same. One-line definition of Overton window. Let's Google only. Hero ka hai banna. A range of subjects and arguments politically acceptable to the mainstream population at any given time. What is acceptable, that keeps changing, and that change is called a shift in the Overton window. Jewish baseline philosophy, yeah, so what? Dada, did you really hear anti-India slogans from childhood? Tell us about it. No, not really. Sliding window from left to right, yeah. Jewish prophets and made Jewish enemies, yeah. Mafuzil হিন্দু বাঙালির ফার্টিলিটি রেট সবচেয়ে কম, অন্তত 2টো করে বাচ্চা নেওয়া উচিত, অনেকে বিয়েই করছে না। হ্যাঁ, নেবেও না। বালের স্কুল চারপাশে এত এত টাকা দিয়ে ভালো স্কুল, বা বালে মানে টাকা দিয়েও বালের স্কুল, প্লাস এত ট্যাক্স। Do you think India will go through another partition this time in Eastern India? Yes. Which city would be best? Mumbai, Delhi? No. You did you say you heard it since you were in 8th standard? What? Anti-India slogans? No, I said that we didn't used to hear anti-India slogans when we were in school. Not from commies, at least. Yeah, that's kind of it. Is communism a sword against Islam? Yes, if they are in correct numbers. But it's a sword against Hinduism as well. Zeitgeist for politics, sociology and philosophy. Zeitgeist for politics, sociology and philosophy. Dada, why Buddhism got vanished wherever Islam has set its foot? Why? Answer in detail. There's no detail. There's only one word: non-violence. Bharat Tere Tukre Honge, you said you heard ever since you were in 8th standard. 8th standard? I don't think so. They were kind of cool commie dialogues inside Jadavpur University campuses and stuff, but not for mainstream normie commies, for whom it's now cool to say these days. It used to not be so back then. Okay, let me know the timestamp. Okay, I'll check what I exactly said. Non-violence, yes. A Muslim colleague once told me about why they consider Aurangzeb a good ruler. Was he religious? Same logic there. Sadir Pragya. Yeah. Can I be part of your Bhairav project to learn stuff? Yeah, I can tell you when to show up on the shoot and stuff. Did you mean bleed India by 1,000 cuts? Probably. I don't remember in what context I said that. I might have said that, yeah, this stuff though I have heard forever. So I don't really exactly, I'll have to remember what sentence I said. Just like Zoroastrianism inverted Hinduism, Islam did same to Jews, just way more violent and dogmatic. Are these commies and liberals brain dead? Are they not aware of fear of irrational Islamic thought? No, they're not. They think, since they don't know any of the history, they honestly believe from the bottom of their hearts that they're not much of a threat. All the threat is from RSS and Hindutvadis. Will Europe survive Islamization? Yes. A lot of it will be lost, but although they didn't survive anything ever, but maybe up until uh, there's people like Trump, Vivek, JD Vance in power, they will help them survive. If USA's politics shifts, then Europe is done. Um, by the time Bengal is done, probably Europe will also be done. Book suggested Quranic concept of war. Not interested. I know the stuff already. Then again, I did not hang around in the arts area that much. Why are today's comic kids more radicalized and polarized? Today, there isn't anything called normie comic. It's either hardcore leftist or right-wing Hindutwadis. Why so suddenly? Because once the discourse is created in the university campuses, it takes some time to percolate and what's that term for economics? Trickle down economics. So it takes time to trickle down. No, the trickle down has now happened. When it was us, when we were young, it hadn't yet happened. Why will they not survive and we will? Because they are a high trust society. They're always known to do this. They are so united. They have so much homogeneity that once something shifts in their psyche, the entire society falls repeatedly. They were Druids one fine morning, become Catholics. प्रोटेस्टेंट से 4 थप्पड़ पड़े, सब कोई प्रोटेस्टेंट बन गए. अब मुसलमान से 4 थप्पड़ पड़ेंगे, सब मुसलमान बन जाएंगे. We are not like that. We are fucking chaotic people and we don't trust people. Therefore, we don't trust people enough to convert so easily. Will the whole world be done at one point of time by hands of? No. If same trajectory goes, Western Europe will be damned, but East will survive. For the near future, maybe. Will Hinduism become proselytizing religion, or is it already one? It somewhat is in small pockets. Proselytizing is not the priority. I mean, in the end, it might be required, but the main problem is whatever you have, protecting that, and protecting that can't happen without Hindutva and Savarkar's ideas. Shumanda is a TMC ideologue. ও খুব ভালো করে কথা কয় রোজ রাত্রে 1 ঘন্টা. Can you imagine Saturn temple inaugurated in Greece? Yeah, lots of mosques also coming up in Norway and Greece. So Saturn কিছু থাকবে না. Can you imagine Bengali Hindus survived 800 years of foreign rule, but in 8 years of democracy, we lost our civilization? Do you think it's possible now to convince today's comic is that BJP is India's best option for now? It is possible. It happens to have with a very specific lexicon and with specific dressing sense and stuff, okay? So all I'm saying is it's all about consumption patterns. You have to get into their consumption pattern and say those things. I have listened to many commies. They always give examples of European society for liberal society, and they don't know what happens today. They think Andrew Tate is a random evil guy who came up out of the blue in a society like Europe. They don't know that Andrew Tate is a symptom. Can Hindu missionary conversion contribute to solution? No, it will be done by people like Bageshwar Dham Baba, who will say Ranveer Allahabadiya must be assassinated because he gave one weird joke. तो ऐसे गांडू कन्वर्शन का हम करेंगे भी क्या? Haven't we already lost Indra, Soma, Varuna, Somathun? Israel is viewed as Banu Kureza. Yes. Soma is a devta, drink name too. Someday cats will take over the world. Meek shall inherit the earth. Cats are not meek. Cats are Nietzschean. Dogs are meek. Do you think it's possible now to? Yeah, we did this. Can we make right-wing movies, web series be a part of good medium to get into their algorithm, or they will say propaganda movie? Depends on who it is made by. How subtly is it made? Like Rokto Beej can do the job. Animal does the job somewhat. That, oh, a random violent movie, cool guy wants to protect his family. Those of you of the people who won't call it just misogynist and stuff. Okay, for those people I'm saying. And then out of the blue, he also does puja pat and drinks gomutra. Oh my god, that kind of stuff. Dogs meek, leopard made of meek. Yes, yes. When the time comes, they some of them don't be meek anymore. Mainly they are meek, especially dog breeds who have been domesticated for generations. আর dogs are not me. অবাঙালিরা এখানে এসে খাচ্ছে, জমি কিনে বাড়ি করছে, 3টে বাচ্চাকে ইংলিশ মিডিয়াম স্কুলে পড়াচ্ছে, আমরা কেন পারছি না? কারণ আমাদের যারা পারবে তারা বাইরে চলে গেছে, যারা পারছে না তারা অনেকটা গরিব। What do you think of the future of Assam? Their demographic is the same or in some cases worse than Bengal. Assam doesn't have a Bhadralok class. They never had, because they were never the British capital. Their proximity to power does not mean the same things, or the proximity to Guwahati does not mean the same things in the same way as in Kolkata. So Kolkata, the Bengal presidency, Madras presidency, Bombay presidency are different beasts. Therefore, South Bombay, Chennai, South Kolkata are different beasts that we have to handle. Assam is not relevant in that situation, in that context. Why Marxists think that they have cure of all problems? इनका दिमाग में देखो, वो तो सबको ही लगता है। हम सब कोई थोड़ी ऋग्वेद लिखने वाले लोग हैं कि बोलेंगे कि maybe we have solutions and he has the solutions and maybe even he doesn't. वो hesitation का जो brilliance है, lack of insecurity है, वो आजकल कहाँ होगा? Right-wing cinema, thank God it's continued. If Iranian people start becoming atheists and embrace their Persian culture, why not Pakistan? Iranian people বাল atheism embrace করছে, ওদের বারা 1% 2%. How did RRR work wonders in both right-wing and left-wing in USA? For left-wing it was an anti-colonization, and for right-wing it was pro-Second Amendment. How can an Indian movie balance that for India's context? How can it balance that? So by making something like that, but stuff like Bahubali cannot work anymore. Bahubali, when it came out, liberals were happy with it, but now they will know it's a right-wing propaganda stuff. Leftists still have some fun, normies still have some fun with RRR, but mostly all I'm saying is get Brahmin Boiddo Kaisto, liberal normie directors to write a good story about a very interesting concept and stuff, but have Hindutva theories, ideas sprinkled all over the cinema, all over the film. By the way, one bad joke ruined my chances with the Bengali baddies. Sorry, lol. What will happen to Bengali Hindus of Assam? Nothing. So the problem is to mobs and Bhadraloks. We have to destroy one. Ekta ke dhongso korte hobe completely. Bhadraloks can be cooperated and co-opted. Others to dande maroge theek ho jayega. Do you believe Hindu gods exist? How do you deal with the problem of evil? Well, evil will exist, God will exist. We will have to collaborate with gods to keep evil at bay. Well, if Europe is homogeneous, then what if they wake up to Islam and this wake-up call is a foundation for an anti-Islamic homogenization, which they will undergo? This may save them. What? What if they wake up to Islam and wake up? How will they wake up if this is a homogeneous society? They have not woken up to any fucking thing. They didn't wake up to the threat of Protestantism. They didn't wake up to the threat of Catholicism. Why Bengali cinema industry is almost dead? इसको कैसे review किया जा सकता है? Circulation of money has to increase drastically, and education system has to improve, and disposable income for middle class people have to improve, which will create better artists in the future. Problem of how to decommunize Bhadralok. Debate them, take away their idols, destroy their idols. For example, their idols like Periyar. We can't use Periyar. So just point out to their faces how much of an anti-Semite nutjob he was. Destroy that dwelling point. And take away their idols like Ambedkar, uh, Bhagat Singh, etc., by or Sri Aurobindo or Rabindranath, by showing what all these people said on Muslims. That's how I converted. That's how so many others converted. I understand one thing about the disenfranchised. They move on masses, convince one, convince 100. No, I mean the question of evil. If gods are omnipotent and all good, where does evil come from and thrive? Atheists throw this question to Christians. I think both are inevitable. I personally think all good and stuff, and evil can be relative at times. Which, according to you, is the best genre to make effective political propaganda? Anything can be. Any genre can be good propaganda. Comedy, dark comedy, showing stupidity, hypocrisy, or something like that. Action drama. Uri is the worst because it's too overtly nationalistic. They got Hollywood money, but they're not investing. Tollywood. Niraj bro advocating iconoclasm and appropriating on the left. Yes, yes. Can you give a breakup of demographics of India and Bengal, and also Bokadesh, the influential class, the vote bank, and the Badlo? No, electorally they are not significant. Their significance is only on the narrative side. দাদা তুমি এত কিছু বলছো থ্রেড পাওনি 14,000 সাবস্ক্রাইবারের লোককে অতটাও চাপ নিতে হয় না লাকিলি আর অনেক তো চাপ নি God is a supportive parent, not all powerful. Borater মতো film চাই. Light. Is there no future of Bengali Hindus if BJP comes in power for 20 years? No. Because the population is gone. Europe can fight back from that day, I believe. From which day? No scholar. If Ambedkar can burn Manusmriti, can I burn his photo being an SC? Can an SC get hit with an SC/ST act? Holy shit! I don't know. Probably. I don't know. How are songs different from movies when it comes to setting political narrative, and how do they work differently and why? How are songs different from movies? Oh, you mean non-film songs, right? I don't think songs can do that job really. Songs are always an after effect. That okay, the movement is here, the slogan is here, now do a song just to rally up the masses. Europe can fight back from that day. 22 cases on Arambag TV. Yes, Shanmay Banerjee, Arambag TV are all fucked with FIRs. I have a lot of stories. How many here in chat are into film? Okay, Europe will again blame on the Jews are like the Savarkar of the world. Like at one point in India, whatever happens for anything, whether it was Congress or the British government, Savarkar would be thrown into jail. Joto dosh Binayak Ghosh. So in the same way, yeah, Jews. Can I share a personal story? Yes. Hypothetical question. What would have happened if Bharat became communist country in 50s or 60s? Weren't we communist already? How much more communism do you think we required? You mean the breakup of Tata and Bajaj and stuff? Well, some more people would have died of starvation, that's all. Pothe ebar Namo Sathi can't invoke any feelings. No, it can't. It can invoke any feelings only in those people who already are on with the program, whose feelings are already invoked. You said demographics gone. Can you provide the data? Yes, check out the fertility rate of Bengalis. If demographics gone, then I think that case of Assam also goes out of hand, isn't it? See, Assam's whatever Hindus remain, there the problem of Bhadralokism doesn't exist. Here we have a low fertility rate. On top of that, there is Bhadralokism. As Rajesh Nandi predicted, after 10 years, these incidents will increase drastically. What's your take on Bengal? It will increase. All the Trinamool versus BJP, Trinamool versus CPM violence that you have seen for all these years, it will be Hindu versus Muslim violence. Marriage law reforms are required, no? Marriage law reforms are 100%, but Hindu men must get the right to marry as many women as they can consensually. আশিস মন্ডল পপুলেশন কন্ট্রোল বিল কি আসবে না? আমি তো চাইনা আসুক, আমাদের ট্যাক্স পেয়ারদের উপর চাপ পড়ছে, রাইট উইং গভর্নমেন্ট যদি না করে তাহলে নো, পপুলেশন কন্ট্রোল বিল शुड नॉट बी ब्रॉट इन। टैक्स पेयर के ऊपर चाप आ रहा है क्योंकि इतना फ्रीबीज देना पड़ रहा है। अगर फ्रीबीज नहीं रहे, अगर ये सब सारे वर्कफोर्स बन जाए, देन तो पैसा ही पैसा होगा। Namaskar Dada, if you don't mind, can I share my story? If my family came from Iran, India, Dhaka, UK. Now I'm an American. Last 4 happened in less than 400 years. Yeah, share your story. Birlas already left Kolkata. It was already that. Even after supporting Congress, they weren't supported. Yes, but they were allowed to exist with a lot of collaboration. Assam has a conflict between Muslims only, Desi versus Mia, so Assam will sustain for a bit longer. China, Protestantism was good. Europe progressed since the decentralizing of a. Whether it was good or bad, that's not the question, because they didn't know it was going to be good when they were turning Protestantism because of violence from Protestants. But that's not your question. You are saying Protestantism was good for Europe, good Europe progressed since the decentralizing of a centralized theology complements democracy and capitalism, whereas Islamism will destroy the West. So aren't the incentives inverted? No. When the conversion happens, the incentive only is to go with the flow. So so let's say when Europe is Islamized, then there will be secular, atheist, and progressive versions of Islam, but it will be Islam only. Your thoughts on UCC? UCC seems good enough, but Hindu men must get the right to marry as many women as they can. My mama said whoever are going in the no-go zones are being arrested randomly to show that police doing something, talking about the IC. Fertility rate in both Iran and upper-class Muslims are both below 1.6 as opposed to 1.5 in Bengal Hindus. General Muslims is around 2.0. In India, Parsis, the birth rate is below South Korea. Yeah, okay. TFR directly linked to terrorism, as I am explains. How is terrorism linked to TFR? This very pretensions toward jihadis for the Catholic Samaj. Yes, all the church burnings, church destructions in St. Andrews done by countless people, civilians, priests massacred, done by Protestants only. Dada, do you know when I was communist, I used to even support purges of Stalin and Mao as it was necessary to save socialism, which is, yeah. If population demography is gone, how did a tiny migrant group made of Pirate Daddy and Home Mommy completely carry out the manifest? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know so much of code words. Let me guess. Not sure. How is China doing whatever they are doing with Uyghurs and nobody is saying anything? Is it just money power, market purchasing power? All of that plus discourse power. They have spent exorbitant amounts of money on discourse and professors and Brahmin Bhojan for decades and decades and decades, so that either nobody knows what they're doing to Uyghurs, or whenever they do, it stays in the news cycle for some days and then it's gone poof. So how many times are these Bhattacharyas of Kolkata crying about Palestine going to remember about Uyghurs? They're going to boycott Steven Wilson. Are they going to boycott Chinese products? That's the power of Brahmin Bhojan. Shandipan is saying, so our main objective is to fight with Bhadralok to make them in our side. But is it true? Is truly Bhadraloks really matters in today's rural Bengal? See, Bhadraloks never mattered electorally, but they always mattered discourse-wise. When CPM was ruling, they never won Kolkata. So are we talking about discourse or are we talking about seats that Shubhendu needs? That's the point. Yeah, Shubhendu can win. He'll become the CM and go around complaining that, oh, I can't do this because system hamara nahi hai. So the system is Bhadraloks. My question was, the ruling Muslim class are all Farsi or Turkic or Rajput in India, but most general Muslim demographics, the literary rate is worse than Dalits. I see a big part where Dalit converts. When are you going to do the Bhairav project? I do have your number. We are still doing Reiki of locations. I'm talking of USA. In what sense? China is doing academic jihad, yes, for a long time now. Will CCP rule ever go from China? I don't see how. আমরা ট্যাক্স দিচ্ছি সরকার সেটা ডেভেলপমেন্ট না করে ফ্রিবিজ দিচ্ছে যাদের 8-10টা বাচ্চা। ইয়েস, দেবেই তো, তারা ভোট দেয়। Both governments. How do you see it? Upper class converts don't change their caste name, but it is common in both Christian and Muslim converts among lower caste to add D'Souza, DaCosta, and Islam next to their name. Upper class converts. You mean upper caste converts or upper class converts? Yeah, they want to eat their cake and have it as well. Pirates and criminals were made to marry prostitutes and settle in the frontier. Oh, yeah. That was long before any law and order and stuff. When are you reacting to PBD Samsider? Not in the coming few days, because it would be kind of insensitive to do fun reaction stuff when Bengal is getting fucked. On the day that Bengal doesn't get fucked, maybe let's say tomorrow there's no new news of violence, then probably. According to M's theory, if you have more than one child, you might encourage. Oh, acha. But when you have right. That's for ideological stuff, not for well-funded infrastructure. Shukanta Majumdar ba Bengal BJP North Bengal cut off from today's Bengal BJP North Bengal cut off from today's Bengal. Lokavya, where's Lokavya? Yeah. Protestantism is in sync with the industrial age, whereas Islam is not so logically. Why want to defend the former and avoid the latter since you are incentivized to do it? Where are they seeing the incentive? If they had seen the incentive up until now, they wouldn't have voted Keir Starmer. If I don't see Andrew Tate as the Prime Minister, I'm not sure they or Tommy. I don't see where they are seeing, even aware of the incentives. You and I are aware of the incentives. They are too dumb fuck to understand what are the incentives. Sorry, I respectfully disagree. In my view, Bharat will be balkanized from within, whereas Europe will somewhat. No, I don't think so. Dada, should LPI take money from corporations? If they take, they won't be libertarian. If they don't, they won't win. This shows that crony capitalism is ingrained in democracy. So crony capitalism is ingrained in everything. What was Congress doing when we were dying of socialism? Let's say the poorest countries of Africa. What are they doing? There's no world, there's no country, there's no society without crony capitalism. The only difference is whether in general the public will be well off or standing in breadlines when the crony capitalism is going on. Bangladesh is poor as fuck. Islamist. Aren't they crony capitalists? Aren't they friends? Are their governments friends with any special companies? Aren't Pakistan's governments friendly with special companies? Aren't China's governments friends with special companies? Aren't Sudan's government friends with special companies? Billions, trillions of dollars spent over the decades on Africa. Where do they go? Crony capitalism exists everywhere. Whether we come across as a richer society, even when crony capitalism is happening, that's the question. So, bhai, Tata and Bajaj and Congress, they were doing crony capitalism. We were poor. Now also there's crony capitalism. We are better off. So crony capitalism is not the hill to die on, and LPI will take money from corporations. Why shouldn't they? I don't know if they will, but I think they should. Will the next Chinese president who will follow Xi Jinping be more friendly towards India or more aggressive? Friendly, I think. Have you read Loka Musalman? No, Lokta. How did the Anglos fuck up every other community they came across in the New World and became dominant community, and we are here grasping in our own lands? Oh, that's the advantage of being a religion and with a significant colonizing mission. We were not a religion in the first place, in the definition of religion, as per the definition of religion, and nor did we have really nor was colonization ever a core tenet of our religion. Hinduism, see, people get confused. People say it's a unifying religion, it's this religion, that religion, it's a congregating religion. Or at the same time, they say it's a way of life, it's not a religion. The equivalent of Hinduism is not Christianity, Buddhism, or Islam and stuff. The equivalent of Hinduism is, let's say, American society today. There are different social mores and stuff in American society. You hunt, you have an American flag in front of your house. You have a barbecue on your courtyard on Sundays. That's American society. Now imagine that American society is at threat that way of life is at threat few centuries from now, and people, a bunch of descendants of these people today, want to save that way of life, that society. That religion will be called American society's teism, and then the confusion starts when you start comparing Christianity with American societyism. So what we are trying to conserve as a mission of Hindutva is that snapshot in time, a way of life of the people who were neither Muslim, neither nor Christians. Why specifically neither these two? Because these two have always tried to harm the host population. First of all, dharma is not equal to religion. In some contexts, it is. It is on democracy. There's not problems with demo, so how to solve it? Solve what? What is the problem really here? Varun Dev. Mishoriya Devi or Janmukhini. Okay. No, it's 3:25 in the night, and still so many viewers. What the fuck is going on today? No, let's go to sleep, guys. Thanks a lot for joining in this conversation tonight. Bye bye. Good night. See you soon.
যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায় যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায় তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি আলো না ধরে ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে তবে বজ্রা দলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো